by the sound of violence.
We all do stupid things, stress under duress, even the corner, not the fighter. So I don't want to condemn someone off one sample, one fight, but they just failed a lot of checkpoints to the fact that at that point of the fight, I was like, I can't cut these guys slack. I got to get a real coaching corner's opinion here, Jason.
No slack whatsoever should be cut. It was a fucking F-. All right, it was abysmal. The number one, you don't speak in cliches as if some sort of Mickey to Rocky speech is going to allow your fighter to flip that switch after the concussive trauma they've just fucking endured. It almost sounds like they have pre-scripted one-liners so that they can sound cool on the broadcast. And I got news for everybody. The whole punch a hole in his fucking chest from Ray Longo has already been done. And it was silly then, and trying to reinvent it is silly now. So if you're not going to come at your fighter with some true technical advice, and your fighter is seemingly lost, if you looked into Ortega's eyes when he did do that spit thing I saw it, like you said, and I made note of it too. There is no, "Are you okay? How do you feel?" And at that point, I was reminded of a quote from my boxing coach, Billy Briscoe, who said, "It's really fucking easy to be brave with another man's blood."
What up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Sound of Violence podcast. We are an MMA podcast, to let you know the MMA podcast you should catch and not miss, as well as we aim to be a form of mutual aid for the MMA podcast community. And this could be an interesting one. It's been a weird week of fights over the last couple weeks. As a matter of fact, Chris, I think you will attest to that. But yeah, we should get back in the format. I am Pulver, if you guys don't know. You must be new here. I am here yet again with my co-host, with the mo-host. It doesn't really work like that, right? Chris Dapper, how's it going, buddy?
Good, man. Yeah, we'll get into our thoughts of the past, let's say, month of just mixed. Let's call it martial arts. Definitely mixed martial arts.
They've been mixing them.
Combat arts.
Yeah, they just haven't been
happening.
They haven't been planning them. Is the problem? Yeah. I have a feeling.
I'll say this.
Oh my God, Matt Joya. We are okay. Hold on. I would like to officially say I don't know how far we are into the actual podcast, but I'd like to say officially I am. Let's see. We are a couple minutes into our official live broadcast. I think like a minute or so. And Matt Joya in chat is already pointing out how fire next weekend's UFC card is. So I feel like we are on point.
Yeah, great card. Never met it. All right. Yeah. I'll say this: if you fancy yourself some boxing, the art of old-fashioned pugilism, we've got a podcast for you today.
Yeah, it's going to be a big old thing, huh?
Yeah, I'll just a little spoiler here. I think in the past 2 weeks, I've watched how many cards? Oh, 0.
Well, no, that's not true. Because actually, okay, but in the last 2 weeks and 2 days, you've watched one card.
Yes,
actually, and that does not count the two fantastic boxing cards that have happened, which I see Matt Joya already yelling at chat, Usyk, just chanting Usyk, which
Oh
Usyk's
no,
gonna come up. Because you know when Kyle McLaughlin shows up on a podcast talk about Usyk, we are here for it. So that will definitely be on the platter for today. But Chris, we should, before we get into any of this madness that chat's going to try and drive us to, we should start off with our regular ass format. And so you guys can tell I'm wilding because you can see the camera shaking. First off, a shout out to the Leftover Crack shirt. And the I'll go ahead and full on show the it's the Leftover Crack Film Cops shirt, which I feel like is still appropriate. But before we get into any of that, Chris, why don't you start us off with what are you getting into today? I guess it's technically our Doug Stanhope presents. No, fucking every time, dude. Papa Vodka presents. I own this shirt and I still get it wrong. Papa Vodka presents. Doug Stanhope presents our sponsors.
So this, I will start with the unofficial beer sponsor, of course, or beer plug. This is from Russian River Brewing Company. It is a pale ale. The beer is called "It Takes a Lot of Great Beer to Make Great Wine," which is a saying in the wine industry for anyone that owns wineries.
Also, Russian River, very familiar with wineries. They barrel age everything.
Essentially, this is just an ode, a toast. They bottle as a toast to our winemaking friends who work around the clock during harvest to make world-class wine right here in our own backyard. Cheers. Here's what the beer looks like.
Yeah, because Russian River is out in wine country, right?
Yeah, in Santa Rosa in Windsor, California.
Yeah. Right by the Mystery House. Shouts out to that one lady who was an old man and sold rifles to kill natives. America's great. So, yeah, keep going.
Literally. To be fair, at least we're not in the South where we have to deal with certain ignorant folks that claim heritage in the very wrong sense.
Yeah, well, we're in the other part of the South where everyone from the North seems to claim heritage for the wrong sense.
Very unfortunately true. But yeah, this beer is really good, really solid. Just has that crisp dryness and hop notes of just a good pale ale with just the right amount of kind of just like slight, almost like a fruit citrusy hop flavor, backbone.
Tommy Arthur.
Very slight bitterness.
Tommy Arthur and everybody out there, like, wait, I'm sorry, I just said Tommy Arthur. That's Lost Abbey. Who are you? You were saying Russian River, right?
Russian River.
I forget who the head brewer at Russian River is.
Yeah, I don't.
Because they've been out there. There's been a couple, but like it's been consistent dudes out there for a while now. And dude, Consecration and like a couple of those beers are some of the greatest I've ever had. Like if you ever see the blue label, I believe it's Consecrate. I always fuck up the names because they're all like variations on
barrel aged.
Yeah, it's the Consecration. I believe if I'm not fucking up the name, it's the blue label. It's the barrel aged cherry one. It's the barrel aged cherry sour, and it's like one of the greatest fucking beers I've ever had in my life. It's fucking incredible. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Absolutely everything that comes out of Russian River is good. From Pliny, you guys, people listening, you guys would know Russian River for Pliny the Elder or Pliny the Younger, most likely. As like
or Blind Pig.
Blind Pig, yeah. Actually, Blind Pig Pale Ale does actually get pretty decent distro, especially in even just on the West Coast, but a little bit outside of it. And they also have they had one other that started getting decent distro. Was it a wheat or something like that? I want to say
it's called like Hop Circus. It's like a really good like IPA.
Is that what it was? Yeah, I know they've gotten a little bit better distro recently. It's always hard to tell down here in San Diego because we get kind of everything. It's just a matter of like I have to tell by how many liquor stores I go to have the same beer. It's kind of my tell for how the distro is throughout the country, right? But yeah, man, I absolutely love their stuff, and that sounds fantastic. Chris, I have a feeling you might be very familiar with the beer I'm drinking this week.
I did see you pouring it. I am very familiar. I will cut you off and say it is probably just the best English brown you could have in San Diego.
I mean, you did sell it to me, so...
It's not... I don't want to say it's not saying much, because I stand by that, but to be fair, no one really makes an English brown. Not really in California.
Hell yeah. Also, Mark Fellows saying in chat that the first beer he drank on holiday in the U.S. was Pliny. First off, well done, sir. That's how you know Mark Fellows is... That's why we call Mark Fellows on our episode 200 a certified beer expert. Because that dude is. And also, yeah, Chris, 100% like... I would say easy top 3 brown in the city, without a doubt. Like, there are some barrel-aged browns that are interesting, but like... Just as a consistent brown, that's around in the city. There's not many of them, and this is one of the most drinkable, especially English browns. So for people who are not in San Diego, think Newcastle without the water, right?
True.
Like, it's very much in that style. Even I think the owner of your brewery would probably cop to that as well. Like, it's very much that style of brown ale, but just like done way better and with a way better malt bill, right?
Yeah, easily. Very, very sweet, very malty, smooth.
Yeah.
No
but
bitterness.
not cloyingly sweet either, though. It has a pretty dry finish.
Yeah, it's one of my two favorite beers at New English. It's that, obviously the ESB that we do.
Yeah, ESB is fire. Yeah, the brown, the ESB, and also you guys. To be fair, everybody makes good hoppy beer down here, but some of your guys' hoppy shit is fire as fuck. Like the double hop I had actually when I came up on Saturday was super fire.
Yeah, the pale ale would do the hop slap.
Is that no? It was the double dry. It was the double.
You had a double hazy.
That's what it was. It was double hazy. Yeah, that shit was so drinkable, dude. It was fire. And you guys know I would come on here and trash Chris's brewery if I didn't like it. To be honest,
you're like this. You're like, guys.
Well, to be fair,
to
be fair, the dude who runs the brewery doesn't know what the fuck I am anyway, and he's never listened to this, so it doesn't really matter. Because we'll never tell him about it. But I would be like, yo, yeah, I like your one shit, but the other shit is whack. But like, yo, if Chris didn't work at that brewery's still fire. So for the record. But all right, Chris. So one last thing before we get into all the podcasts and shit we're actually going to talk about. We have two last things. So I'm going to plug my weed thing that I'm doing this week, and then while I set up that and take this dab I'm about to, which will probably fuck me up and I'll probably cough and die. Chris is going to be setting up what I hooked him up with this week as a
dab of my own, but not in the same sense of your dab.
The last one, if you will. But it is very much so. Again, none of these are actual sponsors. We don't have actual sponsors. I'd never actually take an actual sponsor. Actually, that's not true. If a weed company or a booze company would like to sponsor this show, please hit me up. We will not be responsible about how we handle your product, but we will review it honestly, and that may be good for you if it's good. I don't know. Is that a good sales pitch, Chris? I hate capitalism. All right.
No, what you say is we will like it. That's all you
I won't guarantee that. I probably won't like your product, but I will be honest about your product because capitalism. Is that better? No? Okay.
You will capitalize on your honesty.
Yeah. I have a feeling very little companies are interested in that pitch. All right. On that note, I am going to take a dab of. So I officially this week I will shout out March and Ash in Mission Valley since they had a 40% off deal on 710 Labs wax, which if you guys are in Colorado or California, I don't remember if 710 Labs is in Nevada yet, but if it is, Dan Tom. I don't think you do weed, but people you know who do weed out in Nevada, look up 710 Labs. Their shit is fire. But I will say, I picked up a couple things, but the one I'm going to be trying out today is the Percy Live Rosin Tier 2 from 710 Labs. Oh, God, I fucking hate the autofocus and the light. It's like the worst counterbalance of all time. Anyway, this is some Gax movie number 9, Cross the Sunday Driver. It is here. I'll give y'all all the deets. It is from July 21st, 2021. 77% THC, 1.43% CBD.
You say 70?
Yeah, 77.
This just seems extreme.
Wax? Nah, that's about average for wax. Wax ranges generally, it depends. It'll go between like 65 and like 95. If you're going like some more on the traditional like hash side, you'll maybe get in the 50s or 40s.
Dude, the highest THC content I've ever just smoked, it was like out of someone's pen. and it was like 33%. I just remember like I was falling asleep driving from La Jolla. So like if 33% on like one fucking
but you also
it was a big fucking hit. Don't get me wrong, but like
to be fair, I have weed that's 30%. So is there any kind of reference for you?
no, really, just because your tolerance is so much more
No,
insanely higher than
that's
mine.
my point. It's like your tolerance is a big deal, and also the size of the hit you take. Also, shouts to A B C D E in chat, who is saying that they are drinking a limited edition Schwarzbier collab from Port George called Black Dresses, which sounds delicious. Fucking
What's it called? Port George?
Port George.
Oh, port.
Yeah, sorry, my fucking slurs are not helping any. But yeah, that sounds delicious. And dude, Schwarzbiers. I know you're a fan, Chris.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean,
Oh, that's fire.
I'm trying to think of like some of the local breweries that kind of do a Schwarzbier.
There's a couple, but it's
that's
very
not
seasonal.
a shitty one like Modern Times.
Yeah, well, in Modern Times, to be fair, it's not terrible. It's just like not. It ain't it. You know what I mean? A lot of them turn out to be like black ales, which is not necessarily a Schwarzbier, for like by definition. Also, I will say this fucking I just dropped it again. God damn it. This Gax movie, it by the way, this movie is with a V. I'm not just slurring. It is with a V. But it is super super fire. You're probably not. It's probably not going to focus great, but.
So is there an actual like flavor to like some of the dabs?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I forgot for dabs. I know you said it's from wax, right? Is it mostly like a water vapor that you're inhaling at a highly concentrated burn?
So
temperature, or is it like just smoke?
Well, so it depends on the method you're using, the extraction technique, and like all that, right? So this is going to be this is rosin. So this is essentially what they're doing is they take flour, they freeze it, they then press it in. Essentially, you think of the easiest way to think of this is imagine if you were to take a piece of like a nug and press it between wax paper, right? So it's like you would do a smash burger, but then you take a curling iron or like a not a curling iron, a straightening iron. You ever seen those? Like the ones chicks have? Like it's basically
you had to straighten your hair.
Two hot surfaces essentially, like a hot knife.
Yeah, it's like that, and it just shows you like going like that.
So it essentially does that, and you just squeeze the fuck out of the nug with that with a machine that basically does the same thing. And what it does is it'll separate all of the THC and all of the like essentially most of the compounds of the plant that'll get you high will then exude into a wax form. And so then they do with that different kinds of extraction methods. 710 Labs is notoriously like some of the cleanest shit, and it's fucking very delicious. I'm actually probably gonna drop this in something I don't normally do for rosin, which is I'm probably just gonna drop this in the fucking G pen. I got the wave cup that I'm gonna be rocking that in probably. But yeah, it's fucking I don't know. It's a whole thing, Chris, is my point, I guess.
It's a process.
Yeah. Also, I just made a.
So you want me to wait
mess.
for you to actually hit your dab?
No. Please start because I'm about to be like coughing and dying probably.
So I can't remember this gentleman's last name. His name's Ben. He's from the Fight Site.
Ben Cohn from the Fight Site, who recently won
Cohn,
his
he
fight.
sent this to you.
That's right.
Which you then handed off to me. He makes his own mango habanero hot sauce, which is awesome, and he makes this very great just beef jerky.
Yeah, so real quick, I'll set this up before I do this dab. So Ben, I bought stuff off Ben a while back, and I figured out how good it was because I've seen him do interviews with fighters, and I was like, dude, I gotta know if it's legit or not, or whether fighters are just being nice.
I'm just gonna actually look at me pouring this. I don't fucking pour it everywhere.
Go for it. But no, it's Ben's hot sauce. First off, for the price is super fucking fire, and second off, his beef jerky is super fucking fire. I will go ahead and say that on fucking point. Also, I just realized chat is a goddamn problem. Hopefully I fixed that. Sorry, I just realized we have fucking Nazis in chat. Took them long enough, god damn it. So hopefully that's better. Sorry about that, you guys. If you, we need, this is why we need an adult ass mod in chat to be shutting down all the Nazis, evidently. So Chris, I'm gonna do this dab. Please talk about how good Ben Cohn's hot sauce is, because, well, first off, great segue off of a Nazi showing up in chat that we're about to pip the fuck out of Ben Cohn's hot sauce. Second, dude, it's legit just very good beef jerky and hot sauce. Like, I thought a lot of it was gonna be gimmicky, but like, it's literally some of the worst hot sauce. Sorry, I'm reading chat and talking at the same time. It's legit some of the best hot sauce or beef jerky. God damn it! See, I got very distracted.
This beef jerky's fucking great, is what Chris is trying to say.
And
so is this hot sauce. The hot sauce is really. I am an absolute bitch when it comes to most spicy stuff.
It's hot. Don't get me wrong.
It's definitely got a nice kick
it's not
to it
crazy.
for sure, and that's what I like when I have hot sauce. Ideally, whether it's like and I mostly use hot sauce for ramen, sandwich, anything that's kind of not, I don't want to say bland, anything that's briny or salty, I'll throw some hot sauce in there, especially if it's like a broth base for soup. Anything that's like a good sandwich, right, with like a leaner meat or maybe something savory, I'll put hot sauce on. This is really good because it's more kind of mango dominant with the actual flavor, and then it kicks at the end, and it just kind of rides on like the front part of your mouth and like on your tongue.
Yeah, it very much has like, it's first off very fruity, it's very mango forward. But it definitely has that like a decent heat at the end. But it's not the kind of shit that's gonna leave you like tearing up at the end. Yeah, no,
like especially
because Chris is kind of a baby too. Let's be honest. Like, I would say it's a 4 on a hot one scale, right? A 4 or 5, probably.
See, that's the thing. I don't know what like my spiciness scale would be, but I'll say this right now.
It's like caliente adjacent, probably a little bit hotter.
This has got a good kick, but like my mouth isn't on fire at all.
Yeah. Well, it's hot, but like for a minute.
It's hot. Like my tongue feels it. But this is good, man. It's tasty. I would absolutely put this on wings. 100%. This would go on a wing.
Dude,
whether it's a dab, or even if you like coated it in a wing. To be honest.
Yeah, I think it'd work out great on wings. Also, Mark Fellow was saying in chat, did you guys catch the Derek Lewis Hot Ones episode, which we both talked about, right? You saw that, right?
Yep, dude, I saw that, and
it's definitely, dude, he cruised fine through most of that until he hit the bomb, and then he was like he recovered real well. My coworker told
me about the bomb, and she's like, dude,
if you never had it just tastes like metal.
Yeah, she just told me it just tastes like shit.
It tastes like metal. It literally just tastes like pennies, basically. Like, because that's why everybody says it tastes like trash. Like, because I had that way back in like middle school. Somebody bought that. No, I'm not even kidding. Like,
no. I'm just laughing because like a kid,
well, dude,
your taste buds you're still like growing. So it's like,
one of my buddies was like, "Oh, you guys want to try some hot sauce that's too hot?" And it came in a dropper even back then, and it was just like, wait, what? It would have been 02, 03, but it's the exact same thing. And you taste it, and it just tastes like somewhere between a nickel and a penny.
So like basically, if someone poured just already bad tasting hot sauce on a penny, and they said
it doesn't even taste hot. It just tastes like metal and fire. Like, there's no pepper taste. It just tastes like metal because it's all extract. And like extract, just like weed, extract doesn't taste like anything like weed. Extract of peppers doesn't taste anything like peppers. It just tastes like weird metallic spice, and it's awful. And yeah. I would bet if anybody in chat has had a DeBomb, you probably back me up on that. Just tastes kind of metallic and not good.
Not only was the Derek Lewis one good, one of my favorite actors currently in Hollywood is John Bernthal. He was on there.
Oh yeah, the Walking Dead dude, right?
Yeah, Walking Dead and the Punisher.
Oh right, that yeah. Shouts to all the non-white nationalists and all the white nationalists.
Can I say this though? You know why this ties into it?
Did he disown him?
So yeah, he did.
Yes!
He shit on all of his own Punisher fans. Sean Evans asked him about what is your thoughts on just like masculinity, like in just as far as like just. But like either way, he was just saying it. He was basically saying fuck all Trumpers and all these Nazis that support the character of the Punisher.
Yeah,
and then like I saw he was trending on Twitter, and you see all these like butthurt Nazis like fuck you,
dude. They've
you're
been
not the real Punisher.
Well, it's the same thing they've been yelling at the dude who made the Punisher, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the creator of that character was like saying, "Everyone go support BLM, go support, George Floyd Foundation, do all this, please." Like, oh, and also he was like, "Fuck cops," because like if that character, if there's a real vigilante in real life that murdered criminals, he would absolutely support the police. Like there's an issue where he shits on the cops. Like people are so ass backwards.
That was the whole point of the character.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, good on John Bernthal for just kind of shitting on all those momos.
Yeah.
And the dude's a theater actor. He went to like the Russian school of drama and played like professional baseball there. Grew up a boxer as well too. Wanted to be he was like an amateur boxer, I think, at one point. Dude's done it all. And if you want to catch him in his recent work, he was in the Sopranos prequel, The Many Saints of Newark. He plays Johnny Boy Soprano, which is Tony's dad. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm supposed to sit down with Blake and the rest of the roommates and watch it because Blake is a massive Sopranos fan.
I'm gonna be that one dude who says, "I've never watched Sopranos."
I'll say this: that's fine.
I know a lot about it. I've seen about 4 episodes of it probably, but like I did the same thing with it that I did with Breaking Bad. That like I just decided that like. Listen, I will watch this eventually, but I don't need this kind of depression in my life right now. Which, like, Breaking Bad was more so than Sopranos, because Sopranos does have some uplifting shit, but, like, dude, I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those series that, like...
I'll say this, it's like I'll say this, you don't need to watch The Sopranos, but as far as, like, the holy trinity of, like, amazing HBO stuff, like, you obviously have The Wire... But The Sopranos is like always
it's number
thrown
2,
in there.
yeah, or number 1, depending on whether you're white or not.
So, it's true. Unfortunately, very true.
Or Italian, whichever one you prefer. Oh!
They're like, Madonna. Where's the gabagool?
Yeah, no, I don't pardon, man.
Or just the one fucking, just the one most quoted part of The Sopranos is where his uncle goes, Tony didn't have the makings of a varsity athlete. The fuck you mean, Uncle? What do you mean?
Exactly. Also, I've been very satisfied with all the very smug white dudes doing Tony Soprano gifs, not realizing he's the bad guy over and over again. Was it Patty Pimblett who just recently did that? There's some fighter who just oh no, it's Ricardo Lamas. After the fucking dumbass shit he said. That
you see
dumb
your boy
motherfucker.
Patty, who he got money from?
Oh yeah. Well, as I tweeted out, this probably won't turn out to be super problematic. Like, how long until there's a rape joke between one of the two parties on a video and that like gets a lot of coverage, or just horrible things said like that? It's not my favorite. But Chris, good news. We are not here to talk about shows that are not our favorite. We're here to talk about shows that are our favorite. Also, RR. Okay, I think that dab might be affecting me, you guys.
Are you I are baboon or I am whistle?
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Gax movie number 9 crossed with Sunday Driver from 710 Labs is fucked up, y'all. It's a problem. This is a bad idea before the beginning of the show. So Chris, I'm hoping you're gonna carry it. You've listened to how many podcasts this week?
Let's see here. Let me
You want to tally them up real quick before we start?
So technically 0.
Okay, great. That's gonna work out good.
However, I did watch a lot of recaps on the amazing boxing match that unfolded yesterday.
Yeah, and so that's kind of our plan for this is I'm going to run through some of the MMA podcast stuff I have, and Chris is going to tell us about the dope boxing shit he's been listening to.
And I will chime in and on anything you mentioned MMA related, I will do my best to chime in and just kind of give my thoughts. As far as Yeah, what you say, I'll just chime in.
As usual and all that shit. Like, it'll basically go as usual. But yeah, just so you guys know where we're at. And also, this was a great plan for me to take a giant dab at the start of this. Chris, we planned this perfectly. I don't know if you guys can hear every time I inhale, but I can feel every time I inhale.
Oh, you're gonna hate me really soon, because once I'm done with this beer, the reason why my second beer isn't with me, it's a beer that needs to be cold, and I can't let it sit, and you'll love it.
That's interesting, because since we're not doing a second segment, I wonder I was going to get a second
beer.
No.
I'm just saying I will be grabbing a second beer, so you'll see me fucking leave for a second, and then I'll come back.
It's all good. I got a second beer as well, and it's a surprise, because I don't know what I'm going to get yet.
So just close your eyes and reach in the fridge. Is that what you're saying?
Have I told you I'm high? I've even been paying attention to the first half of this episode. All right, here we go. All right, we should start off with some serious shit. All right, so first catch for this week that I have is Fight Study episode 107. Super good episode. Sam had on Dan Tom and Coach Jason Sargis, as you guys heard on the intro. This was a lot about just the Ortega and Volkanovski fight, as well as they talked a decent amount about the Usyk fight as well. And I just found it very interesting and very informative. Like, on a technical level, they talked about a lot of different things. Talked about the submissions that Ortega wasn't able to finish and why. They also are one of the few people that I've heard, Chris, I don't know if you've heard anybody mention this, but they mentioned that two of the hardest submissions and the most energy-intensive submissions to finish are arming guillotines and triangles, which Brian went for both back-to-back. And I hadn't heard anybody else mention that at all.
I like that someone mentioned that, because when I think of just the amount of just pressure and just how draining it is on your arms.
Or legs,
with your stamina, and just essentially this, like, what, half the time when someone does a guillotine, they're on their back.
Well,
right? So
especially
it's not like, unless you get like a body locked in with your legs, you're not going to have all of that like exerted pressure.
Especially with arm in, like, you're having to cover so much distance and try and clamp down. Same thing from what I understood, from what they were saying with when it comes to triangles, like, you have to exert so much leg energy to try and finish triangle. Not to mention, oftentimes, like Brian did, you're pulling on the head and trying to hook the leg so you don't get Rampage Jackson. And it was just it's something I hadn't heard anyone else mention all week. It was one of the big reasons why I think people are sleeping on Fight Study in a way, and a lot of Dan Tom's coverage in general in a way that I think you should keep a little bit closer eye on it, because Dan Tom is saying a lot of little things that a lot of people are not saying, and I find it fascinating. They also talked a decent amount on this episode, Chris, about the terrible corner work in Ortega's corner.
Yes.
Did you pick? How much of that did you pick up on live?
So, I think I mentioned before, I was working when it was like, so I was like this, like at work, and I was like, oh.
When I've seen your work setup, it's not like very conducive to be able to be like paying tight attention to in between rounds.
Usually what happens half the time is like this. Cool. I like no one's walking in, and as I'm like, okay, cool. A minute's gone by. Hi, I'd like another. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
But which is fair. I mean, that's
the gig.
I'm not getting paid to watch fucking fights.
Exactly.
Got to pour beer. But my point is, I saw the end of that third round. I caught part of it. I got up to pour beer as I get shoulder taken, like lying down, and I didn't get to see what was going on.
Yeah, the end of that third round was crazy.
So, do you think this should have been TKO?
Yes. Well, yeah. I think somebody owed it to Ortega in that fight.
He looked fucked up. Like, he looked like he was just like done. Like, he didn't get up.
Dan Tom, I think, had probably the best description for why that should have been finished. And I don't want to try and repeat it because I'm not going to do it justice. But on Protecting Neck, actually, I'll go ahead and mention this as well. Episode 283 of Protecting Neck was also one of my catches for this week for a very similar reason. Dan Tom on both Fight Study and on Protecting Neck had very, very solid cases for, like, when bad cornering is acceptable and when bad cornering is just egregious. And this was a pretty clear example of the latter, especially following Brian Ortega coming off a giant fucking problem to begin with, you know? Like, he cleared his whole team because of that issue, and it seems to be back again already, you know?
Wait, say that one more time about his team.
Well, because remember, he dropped, like, a lot of his coaches after the Max fight.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Because besides being hurt, didn't it take him about, like, in that 2-year span he was gone, just to find, like, I think, didn't he get an entirely new striking coach, I think, or boxing coach?
He dropped pretty much everybody except for Henner.
Henner, yeah.
And a lot of the complaints that the Fight Study dudes, like we played on the intro, especially Jason Sargis, who's the coach that was on, he had some, like we played on the intro, he had a great point about it being really, I believe his quote is, it's really fucking easy to be brave with another man's blood.
That's what I thought I heard. I couldn't tell you. I heard it was brave with another man's something.
Yeah, so that was a quote that his boxing coach
it was a great
told
quote.
him early on, is like, it's really fucking easy to be brave with another man's blood. And that was their thought about the Ortega thing, and just the terrible corner work from just not actually giving him advice, just kind of cheerleading to a lot of that stuff. I thought it definitely should have ended after the third. I mean, they picked him up and put him on a stool, which is supposed to be against the rules to begin with.
Yeah, that not only is that against the rules. I remember, what was it? Herb Dean was like, "How many fingers am I holding up?"
Oh, and it's like,
didn't Ortega say something like 11 or something?
Well,
weird?
no, he answered like 3 times is what it was. So like when you ask that question and you answer 3 different answers, like you're gonna be right.
And I heard there was something with, like, he started answering back in, like, Spanish.
Yeah, well, and Matt Joya in chat saying, like, yeah, for sure, TKO. He cleared his team because the striking team sucked. And that he did. Matt also saying in chat that he tore something, which, yeah, man, it's a lot of examples of why that fight shouldn't have kept going. It feels like, and it's fucking unfortunate. Speaking of things that shouldn't keep going. They also talked a bit about, on this episode, and both that and Dan Tom talked about it on episode 283 of Protect the Neck, that it is no country for old men, and Nick Diaz and the Robbie Lawler ending to that fight.
Oh, man. I'll say this. I did get to watch that entire fight because I was eating in a restaurant enjoying.
What a fucking...
my dad.
Dude, that's a crazy place to be at for that kind of a fight. Because I know Julian, and it's a very, like, calm little community.
No, wait. I wasn't... Sorry, excuse me. I recant that. I was in Ramona.
Okay, that's way more on board. Yeah. So just popping
That's way
off.
better.
Yeah, no, Ramona would be popping for that kind of a fight. That's like...
Yeah. And I had, like...
Ramona's the Lodi
called,
of East County.
I'll say this. If you're ever in Ramona... go to this place called DiCarlo's. Some of the best fucking meatloaf I've ever had in my life. With, like, this
really, because I hate meatloaf, so maybe I'll go there.
Really? Okay. How about this? They have a very good prime rib.
I think part of the reason why I hate meatloaf is just the name. I just don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
I was gonna say, I can see, like, the texture.
No, that's a big part of it too. But I think half of it is texture, half of it is name.
Okay. Anyways, I was watching it inside a restaurant. Had a nice dinner, and yeah, that first round of that Nick Diaz fight was awesome. Like, he had some good boxing combinations he strung together. He looked like he was pretty sharp, but again, he just looked slow. Like, his body just wasn't, like, conditioned for it.
And there was some, like, very cool, like Matt was saying in chat, like, he was laughing his ass off fight of the year until the last 30 seconds. And it's like, yeah, I also wonder how much of that fight. I honestly think Nick came in with a knee injury. That may just be me fucking projecting a bit, but the Diaz brothers notoriously never tell you that they're injured until about 3 to 6 months later. Also, if you watch when Nick went down, he just grabbed his knee the entire time, and even when he kneeled, he grabbed his knee, and even when he got up, he grabbed his knee, and also he came in way fatter than he was looking on Instagram. So I wonder if he fucked.
Dude, okay, some of the comments I saw were so ridiculous. They're like, bro, it's photoshopped. Like, to the one where he's, like, all cut up, like, drinking water.
Well,
like, look like a...
Yeah, I mean, that's just... People are the worst.
Oh, he was just, like, in incredible shape. And then, like, unfortunately, at the end of his camp, he was not in an incredible shape.
Well, and also, like, I don't know. People gotta let Nick Diaz be Nick Diaz, and I'm not interested in Nick fighting because I don't think Nick's interested in Nick's fighting.
He doesn't. So this is the thing. The only thing that I was worried about was, okay, is he back because he needs money? Did he do some wrong business?
That's what it seems like.
Shitty people. Yeah. I think that's what it is, because the entire lead up to the fight and the press conference,
it was
almost
worse
seems
than
like
normal.
he was ready to
and
lose.
you were saying,
lose.
well, no, it wasn't even that. It's just you kept telling me all week, like, you're like, dude, he keeps saying he doesn't want to be here. I was like, he kind of does that anyway. Like, he's always kind of done that, but
I know
not,
he has anxiety.
not in the phrasing and way that he did this time. This time it was like, I don't know why I'm here, rather than being like, I don't want to be here, which was always his thing. It was like, I don't know why I'm here, and that shit, yeah. I just want things to make Nick Diaz happy. That's what I want. That's what I'm rooting for.
Dude's very just seems very kind, affable, fun.
And just he's good for the sport. Like, that motherfucker's good for the sport.
Good on Robbie Lawler too, dude, for checking up on him, saying, "Hey man, if you need any help in life, are you okay?"
Two great dudes
I'm here
who
for you,
are
man.
good for the sport.
Yeah.
Like, they've always been real motherfuckers who are like very hard
They're
dudes
like,
who are not very open to the public, but they've always very clearly
not that there should be a stigma that you can be a nice guy and be a badass combat sportsman, but that they think those two guys are very nice, like gentlemanly kind of people, like nice guys, and like they'll murder a motherfucker, but at their heart they're just a nice person. Well, right? That's why you kind of get that.
And
vibe.
A lot of the people who
you don't have to be a dick, you don't have to talk shit, right? You know, you're just here for you know.
When you hear from a lot of writers, like they're just like. Especially those two, they're like, I love those guys. Like, sometimes tough. They don't always give you the best interview, but like, they're just dope, and it seems to come off that way. And speaking, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think my favorite Robbie Lawler post fight was when he beat Tiki Gozin, and then he's like, "What do you think, Rob?" And he's like, "I come long and I come hard."
Yeah, that was. Wait, did Robbie have hair back then? I think, or was that what right before? Was either right before or right after?
He had hair. Yeah. No, he had hair, and that's where Tiki thought it was a doctor stoppage, and then you see Robbie just like this.
That was also before Tiki was just getting murdered by everybody.
Yeah. But when he's like, I come long and I come hard.
Dude, early career Robbie was so much fun. Like, when he was just picking dudes up and slamming them all over the place like a WWE event. Oh my god.
Oh, it makes me even more happy when I see him slamming Ben Askren. Anyways.
Wow. To be fair, Ben Askren seemed like he didn't used to be as bad as he is, but God. Could you imagine?
He wants a civil war,
dude,
brother.
As much as I loved Ben Askren and Sean Wheelock and Joe Warren on a podcast, could you imagine what it would sound like today? Or even worse,
can you imagine what it sounds like when they don't have a hot mic and they're talking to each other before they record?
Even worse, with fucking John wasn't I want to say John McCarthy was on one with who used to be the co-host of that. No, maybe that was Wheelock, which Wheelock wouldn't be as bad, but yeah, man, fucking Jesus. Podcasts suck, kind of, a little bit. MMA podcasts kind of suck. That's why our list is pretty short this week. You know what MMA podcast that doesn't suck, though, Chris?
What's that?
It is Tangerdome, episode 21, which was Kyle McLaughlin, show favorite, and all-around bad motherfucker.
Did he do a fake apology about why he curses too much?
No, not at all. Not on Tangerdome. Tangerdome is the Wild Wild West of podcasts. Anything goes. As long as you're slurring some kind of country, you're probably cool on Tangerdome.
Well, I forgot. Does Izzy edit his own videos in it, or was it some other guy, right? I just want to... Iggy, yeah, no.
No, I don't know how the fight. I don't pretend to know how the fight site works. It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, Chris.
I just remember he'll just do like some ad lib like reactions, whether he's like screaming, but then like it's added.
Oh no! So you're talking about the episodes of that Fino was editing with Iggy.
Oh, I see.
When they were doing that wasn't Tangerdome. That was like when they were doing some like news show kind of things. But no, so Tangerdome episode 21, Kyle McLaughlin and Lucas sorry Lucas, I'm gonna fuck your name up. Lucas Finrick, I'm gonna say. Sorry, Lucas. I apologize. You can absolutely butcher me on Twitter for fucking up your name, and I will correct it on the record. But Kyle came on as well as Lucas to talk with Iggy about. See, now you got to be calling him Iggy instead of Tuman. You got me all fucked up too.
Shit.
They came on to talk about Usyk and his win over Joshua and how wild it was and definitive. And yeah, just a really solid episode. I guess this is the time where we can talk about some of this. It was a fucking absolute dominance, right?
Yeah, that fight. Holy shit!
Honestly, two of the best fights I've
get the
seen in the
smaller
last
guy.
6 weeks, and
Yeah.
none of the fights I've seen in the last 6 weeks that are the best are in MMA. Like boxing has been dope.
What's cool is that it was 2 fights in the fucking heavyweight division of boxing. Generally, a division where people get knocked the fuck out in the first 3 rounds, and there's no real technical flow or display of just boxing skill.
Well, and the winners were
Right.
motherfuckers who were putting on hella work rate and hella technique.
And especially in that Usyk Joshua fight, I asked my friend Jack, who you know, who
Yeah,
Jack is.
Jack's dope.
Way more of a boxing head than me.
Jack's
He
been
said-
trolling our chat
he's like-
room since the OG days.
Yeah, he's just basically saying, I'm not going to take away what Usyk did. What Usyk did was was amazing. It was awesome. It was a fantastic performance.
Jack's about
He
to
was
say
saying, though,
some
he thinks
Missy
almost
shit,
that-
though, right?
So it wasn't really. He just thinks that Joshua kind of had a little bit of the fame go to his head, and he kind of credited to some of the pre-fight interviews where they said, "Hey Anthony, hey Anthony, what's like your? Do you have a game plan?" He's like, "No, I don't have a game plan. I'm just gonna go in there and fight.
Yeah, there was a lot
see
of
how
that.
it goes." I was like, "Wait, see how it goes?" So because like there were moments in fight where AJ looked great. You know, he was stringing up a couple of good. You know, he had like I think it was that right straight, which was his bread and butter, kind of like down the middle, as like Usyk would kind of back up because he has the longer reach. But holy shit, man, Usyk's speed advantage, the way he can kind of dart in and just kind of get inside and just just not even just his 1-2. It's almost like that slip fucking what's that called again? Like is it a check hook? You kind of like dart in and kind of just do that short hook, and then you kind of follow up with, I don't know what it was, man, but it was just a brilliant display. Like
Yeah.
those Ukrainian boxers, dude, whether it's, you know, the Klitschko brothers back in the circa early 2000s, 2010s, or like Lomachenko, you know, and you got Usyk, and I feel like all those dudes' footwork has to do with just something that they're all teaching over there in the Ukraine.
Well, what I heard is, I don't remember off the top of my head here. I can scroll down through my notes. I can probably find it. But I do remember someone saying that Usyk early on in his career did train with Loma's dad.
Because, yeah, I was looking at his
I forget who
footwork,
was saying that.
and it's like, bro, he's like, what, 6'3", which is still massive. Not massive. That was when that Ali's height. They kept saying that, I think, during the fight. They're like, Muhammad Ali was only like 6'3.5", but like long and like wide.
Marfello was saying
So,
in chat ballet. Yeah, he trained ballet early on.
Yeah,
is what
the
it
Ukrainian
was.
ballet, because I mean, it was Loma's dad that taught
Yeah.
that. Maybe someone could correct me in chat. I don't know how tall Ali was. I think he was 6'3" or
Yeah,
6'4".
somewhere in there.
Someone was just saying he wasn't like a giant.
No, he was
heavyweight,
just very
compared to,
good at
like,
using his range, too.
Yeah, and I think they were kind of comparing Usyk to like Ali as far as like he might not be
Well,
the biggest heavyweight.
I mean, I think a lot of it, too, though, is like Joshua's so trash on the inside because a lot of heavyweights are trash on the inside. Like, that was the thing that
Yeah,
I
I
heard both Kyle and later on they were talking about with I heard a lot of people discuss in regards to the Fury loss, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about it at some point, even though I may not come up on it from podcast related shit. But yeah, like very much heavyweights are kind of trash on the inside, and that's why Fury is so good against everyone, is because he's pretty good on the inside and he's a
only one,
giant.
yeah.
So it's like it ruins
He's like,
everyone's
oh.
game plan. Well, that's why
Basically, after-
you heard motherfucker come out today, right, and be like, he wanted to lean on me. You're like, yeah, he wanted to lean on you because you get tired, bitch. That's
Yeah, and he's got 40 pounds on your ass, so he's gonna lean
Bro,
on you all day.
also,
Especially you got to get the ropes.
your
After the one-
entire complaint after the first fight was you got tired because you got leaned on by a costume. Like, that's a terrible argument. Also, I apologize
think
for
about
some of
Joshua.
my phrasing a minute ago.
Joshua was kind of like the way he kind of held up his gloves was kind of like almost this weird, awkward kind of like I don't even know how the fuck to describe it. I don't know if it was just. I know he has very long arms, but and he's in a wide frame. But it looked like he's not made for inside boxing. He's right there to kind of snipe you on the outside and glide. Once
that's
he gets
the
inside,
thing.
he's like this, and it's just like very robotic almost. And Usyk, I feel like could read that. Okay, now glide, liver shot, then go.
Well, it's not just that though, but like he very much freezes after the second or third in a combo. Like I believe, I want to say it was Tumen. On Tigerdome 22, but it might have been no Tigerdome. It would have been. I'm not sure who it was actually. It might have been the Fight Side. I want to say it was Fight Side dudes, but I could be mixing them up with Heavy Hands dudes as well. But a lot of the stuff that he seems to have trouble with is just freezing on the inside, like in that. Much like in the Usyk fight, the more combos that come, it's just less and less defense happens, and it just kind of starts to get real bad, and the reactions just get worse and worse.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we've gone through. Okay, so that was a lot of Tigerdome 21. I feel like we've got a little bit all over the place. But yeah, really good episode. And yeah, they talk about, actually in that episode, they talk about how Fury and Usyk would match up because Joshua would, I believe they said Joshua is still top 3 to 5 in the world, but he would never, I believe Kyle's line, but he was never the prince he was promised to be. Which is a very fucking Kyle MacLachlan kind of. That dude has a way with words that I appreciate. And with his accent, just makes it even better. So, I'm a big fan of it. And then, yeah, he even says, how would Fury and Usyk go? Because I believe they even joked on that episode. Because if it was Usyk versus Joshua, Usyk would just step inside and fuck him up immediately. Because Joshua has no inside game. Which I feel like is pretty blatant at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're exercising that rematch clause. I think there's just
hopefully I watch it again. Shit was fun. But
yeah, if you ask me to, honestly, I would love to just.
It's not gonna go well for anyone who lost. I'll put it that way.
Also, if you could just skip to Usyk versus Fury sometime next year, I'm down with that too. Just for the unification.
Would be crazy. The size is gonna be such a problem.
Yeah, I think they said
Fury's so good from the outside
Fury,
with the jab,
it's 6 inches in height advantage, so 6'3" versus 6'9", and then I think it's 7 inches in reach.
Well, he fights very smart for like a big dude, and he's very good on the inside. Yeah. So it'd be a weird fight. Anyway, my other catch for this week was Care Don't Care. Whether it's the UFC 266 reaction, whether it's the card after that, which was Walker versus Thiago Santos. Both of them. These are the best shows to be listening to right now, I would argue. Preview wise. Because Chris, as you will attest to, the cards are fucked right now for the UFC. They're absolutely trash, most of them.
I believe you, so let me just go ahead and be more sad and just see what's going on here with this.
Well, no, but I'm saying look at the last 2 cards that they did Care Don't Cares for, which is the one that we just saw this last weekend and the one before that. They had I think they had 2 cares or 3 cares on one of them between the 3 of them. And then on the most recent one, they had 1 or 2.
What the fuck is this weekend?
Oh yeah, Chris. Oh yeah,
dude.
Oh yeah. You haven't even looked yet, have you?
No, I'm looking right now.
Oh, it's
just like
Holly Holm dropped out, so we're fucked.
Let me see. Who would I want to watch on here? Like, dude, no one. Okay, that's not true.
There's like
Bruno
3
Silva,
good
Andrew
fights.
Sanchez is a straight. Oh no, that's the wrong guy. I'm thinking of the other guy. I'm thinking of the bantamweight named Bruno. God damn it.
You're thinking of Bruno Santos, right?
Yeah.
No, there's like 3 good fights.
No. So there's a guy named Bruno. He trains at Cejudo. He's in bantamweight. He's cool, but other than that, no. This card sucks. Holy fuck.
Oh, keep flipping through cards. Let's see if it gets better, Chris.
Ooh, Belt Nemkov is fighting.
Yeah, go and look at that card. It's okay.
Okay, let's see. There's a UFC Fight Night on the 20. Okay, Costa versus Vittori, but let's see the undercard.
Yeah, go ahead and look at that undercard. Let me know what you think.
Oh boy, that's already rough just for the main event. Oh goddamn!
Dude, does it get better after that?
Let's find out. No, it already gets worse on the undercard. Hold on. Let's keep going. Let's go back to Costa versus Vittori. 2 fucking dumb orcs. They're fighting each other.
God.
One that's like just drunk all the time on wine. Right?
Which one's that?
Definitely Costa, because he's the one who says, "Oh, I'm sober this time."
I
That's
mean,
like mean, but it's like, bro, you keep pulling out a fight.
To be fair, we do have Fedor versus Tim Johnson coming up in Moscow.
I already, dude, once I saw that, I was like, skip. Okay, Kayla Harrison, great person, never met her.
This is going good.
Okay, UFC 267. Now we're talking. What is this? This looks great. Oh, this is an amazing card. Amazing. Oh my God. You got Jan Blachowicz versus Glover, Piotr Jan versus Corey Sandhagen for the the interim title.
Right.
I had to do that.
Nailed
Sorry,
it.
Aljo.
Nailed it.
Islam Makhachev versus Dan Hooker. Oh my fuck, what a fight. I remember Dan Hooker took that. He's, I ain't a bitch. Even Volkov versus Tybura might be okay. Oh yeah, you got your boy Jangalang versus your other boy Hamzat Shimaev, who is a great person. Never met him. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Even Magomed Ankalaev versus Volkov.
Hey, Kyle McLaughlin dropping through chat. Shouts out to that dude. Good time.
This is a very good card.
Yeah, man. It's not a good card, but it's a very fun card. Like,
it's a top-heavy card.
It's not great names value, but like it's great matchups.
The last 3 fights alone are fucking.
Now, Chris, how many of those fights do you think are actually going to happen by the time we get to the end of October? How many? Okay, like half of them are going to have COVID, right?
Shemaev
also, let me put it this way. Also, Chris, is this a factor if I tell you it's happening in Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi. Yeah, it's a big
it is happening in Abu Dhabi. So that's gonna be everything's gonna be fine, Chris. I'm sure everything will turn out great.
Let's see what's after. All I remember is the calendar. What I marked on my calendar was November 6th. So let me go ahead and fast forward to November 6th, and then I really hope that's in the U.S.
Also, Kyle is a goddamn savage. It is evidently 5:46 over there, which means as someone who I know Kyle doesn't drink anymore. So, Kyle, I hope you're at least having. I don't know what you're doing. Have coffee or something, my man. Good God.
Have a near beer. Just kidding. Don't do that.
Near beer.
Right, UFC 268.
Also, English near beers, I feel like are the worst kind of near beers. Am I wrong?
You're probably right. Okay, 268 looks great.
Wait, how do we even get here? We were talking about care don't care, right?
Oh, you just said, "Hey, Chris, go ahead and tell me how the next couple weeks look," and it's not good.
No, I know. I was trying to get away from that now because we've been doing it forever. Let's see.
Yeah. I'm just gonna back out of
smart. All right. The last can't miss or the only can't miss I have for this week actually is Pride Never Die episode 4. Chris, have you been listening to much of Pride Never Die from the Southpaw Podcast Network?
No, not
I mean,
at all.
you've heard a little bit because I think you heard the Alana McLaughlin interview, right? That we.
I did hear that one. Yeah, that was fascinating.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of this show. Carrion is awesome as a host, and she's having a lot of conversations that no one else is having.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me. Fuck Sean Strickland. Hope he gets hurt every fight he fights in. And I've never said that about a fighter.
I saw some of the fucking horrific shit.
No, absolutely fuck that fighter. Don't care. Hope he gets hurt. That guy's a piece of shit. Yeah. Some of the stuff I saw him say about Alana and some other fighters too. No, that guy's an asshole. He's a piece of shit.
There's a lot of those motherfuckers that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Probably. Anyway.
Luke Rockhold, I am fucking cheering for you very hard. Please don't let me down. You're a samurai.
Until you realize Luke Rockhold's takes are the exact same, and then you should just root for a double shin break, because that's the most likely. Let's see. Anyway, we are going to segue away from all of that shit, and we're going to say Pride Never Die, episode 4. Carrie Ann had an absolutely awesome interview with Colleen McDaniel, who is a sexual violence researcher, who's currently, it sounds like, from my understanding, in school. And it's very interesting conversation around the idea that, like, a lot of self-defense classes are hosted and ran by cis white men, and how inherently that kind of makes a lot of self-defense classes unapproachable for a lot of groups of most communities, because a lot of cis white men are the people who are causing the fucking harm that they're trying to get self-defense for. They also talk about some things that I haven't heard discussed as well, which is, like, even in classes that are theoretically, like, approachable and trying to do the right thing, like, a lot of the conversations around, like, these are strangers, these are others attacking you, these are like, it's a lot of like very narrow views that, like, dudes seem to have of, or especially cis white dudes, of, like, who are actual attackers versus why people actually go to self-defense, who need self-defense. It was just a very interesting conversation I've never heard in the kind of way it was had, and I think it's important for people to hear, honestly. Especially, like, if you are in any kind of martial arts community, like, this is the kind of shit that I think you should give a fuck about, right? Like,
Absolutely.
the whole idea behind martial arts is hearing, like, the unheard and giving them a voice and giving them security, right? And, like, the whole idea behind martial arts is allowing people to, like, be able to defend themselves. So, like, if there are marginalized groups who are saying, hey, the way it's working right now is not working, I think the very least everyone could do is listen to those groups, especially in the fucking community that they're a part of, you know? So, I don't know. I again, like with a lot of these kinds of episodes, I don't want to say more than I should, because honestly, I could say whatever, but hearing it from the people actually experiencing it is way more important, and that's why I feel like it's can't miss. Man, it's conversations I have not heard anywhere else, and it's conversations that should be had way more openly in this community. And so, Pride Never Die, episode 4. And, yeah, carrying, like, and that, the whole Southpaw podcast crew, once again, like, if you're not paying attention to the stuff they're putting out, I really feel like you're not paying attention to some of the voices that are most need to be heard in the MMA podcast community. So, give them a listen.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say that better myself.
Beautiful. All right, Chris, I'm going to ramble through a bunch of fucking podcasts right now. They are in no particular order. They are...
So...
Yep. Oh, wait. Yes. Before we do that, let's get to some of the dope shit you listen to, because
Wait.
Okay.
I was going to go grab another beer.
Okay. You want to do a quick beer break?
Yeah.
All right.
Or how do you want to do this? You want me to just go snag a beer while you run?
No, what we'll do,
kind of miss what you have to say.
we'll do is I will run back our intro, which was, I think, fantastic, and we'll play it again. And while we go run back our intro, I'm going to take a piss, you're going to grab beer, I'm going to grab beer, and we are going to get into this second part where Chris is going... Wait, you got to tease first what you're going to talk about.
It's furious. Lots of jabs, setting up a really sharp 1-2, and I lean on people against the ropes. Yeah. If you were awake last night and you missed this, then it's your own fault. That's
right. Chris is covering Melvin Gillard. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. I
versus
forgot
Joe
that
Riggs.
fucking happened.
Or Joe
Dude,
Trey,
it was Joe Riggs, and I can't believe that fight happened. I thought that was a joke, and then I saw the aftermath, and I got really mad. Okay, we'll be right back.
Liked by the sound of violence.
We all do stupid things, stress under duress, even the corner, not the fighter. So I don't want to condemn someone off one sample, one fight, but they just failed a lot of checkpoints to the fact that at that point of the fight, I was like, I can't cut these guys slack. I got to get a real coach and corner's opinion here, Jason.
No slack whatsoever should be cut. It was a fucking F minus. All right, it was abysmal. The number one, you don't speak in cliches as if some sort of Mickey to Rocky speech is going to allow your fighter to flip that switch after the concussive trauma they've just fucking endured. It almost sounds like they have pre-scripted one-liners so that they can sound cool on the broadcast. And I got news for everybody. The whole punch a hole in his fucking chest from Ray Longo has already been done. And it was silly then, and trying to reinvent it is silly now. So if you're not going to come at your fighter with some true technical advice, and your fighter is seemingly lost, if you looked into Ortega's eyes when he did do that spit thing into the, I saw it, like you said, and I made note of it too. There is no, "Are you okay? How do you feel?" And at that point, I was reminded of a quote from my boxing coach, Billy Briscoe, who said, "It's really fucking easy to be brave with another man's blood."
By the sound of violence.
We all do stupid things, stress under duress, even the corner, not the fighter. So I don't want to condemn someone off one sample, one fight, but they just failed a lot of checkpoints to the fact that at that point of the fight, I was like, I can't cut these guys slack. I got to get a real coach and corner's opinion here, Jason.
No slack whatsoever should be cut. It was a fucking F minus. All right, it was abysmal. The number one, you don't speak in cliches as if some sort of Mickey to Rocky speech is going to allow your fighter to flip that switch after the concussive trauma they've just fucking endured. It almost sounds like they have pre-scripted one-liners so that they can sound cool on the broadcast. And I got news for everybody. The whole punch a hole in his fucking chest from Ray Longo has already been done. And it was silly then, and trying to reinvent it is silly now. So if you're not going to come at your fighter with some true technical advice, then and your fighter is seemingly lost. If you looked into Ortega's eyes when he did do that spit thing into the, I saw it, like you said, and I made note of it too. There is no, "Are you okay? How do you feel?" And at that point, I was reminded of a quote from my boxing coach, Billy Briscoe, who said, "It's really fucking easy to be brave with another man's blood."
Liked by the sound of violence.
We all do stupid things, stress under duress, even the corner, not the fighter. So I don't want to condemn someone off one sample, one fight, but they just failed a lot of checkpoints to the fact that at that point of the fight, I was like, I can't cut these guys slack. I got to get a real coaching corner's opinion here, Jason.
No slack whatsoever should be cut. It was a fucking F-. All right, it was abysmal. The number one, you don't speak in cliches as if some sort of Mickey to Rocky speech is going to allow your fighter to flip that switch after the concussive trauma they've just fucking endured. It almost sounds like they have pre-scripted one-liners so that they can sound cool on the broadcast. And I got news for everybody. The whole punch a hole in his fucking chest from Ray Longo has already been done. And it was silly then, and trying to reinvent it is silly now. So if you're not going to come at your fighter with some true technical advice, then and your fighter is seemingly lost. If you looked into Ortega's eyes when he did do that spit thing into the, I saw it, like you said, and I made note of it too. There is no, "Are you okay? How do you feel?" And at that point, I was reminded of a quote from my boxing coach, Billy Briscoe, who said, "It's really fucking easy to be brave with another man's blood."
All right, everyone, we're back.
Yeah, we are.
We are back to, well, I'll just go ahead and kick it right
There you
off.
go.
Let me go ahead and just tell you right now which beer I'm about to enjoy. First of all, before taking it out of this koozie, I have to take a sip of this so I don't spill everywhere, because this is one of those beers, if you get out in your clothes, you are fucked.
Oh, that motherfucker. Also, I would like to, while Chris is doing that, I'll go ahead and shout out I don't remember the name of it, but the barrel-aged beer at Chris's Brewery, New English Brewing right now, is delicious.
The Cellar Blend number 3. It is a blend of our barrel-aged Zumbar and our barrel-aged Brown.
Very
Great.
good beer. Coffee is shit.
Speaking of
unrealistically drinkable for the percentage.
Speaking of coffee is shit, and I'm also a piece of shit for not pouring this in a goblet, but then again, it's okay. It's nice and cold and frosty. AleSmith, of course. Speedway Stout.
To.
Okay, now you're curious. What rendition of Speedway Stout you got here? No, I wish. That's the best one.
That is the go-to.
Yeah.
Macadamia.
This is Imperial Stout brewed with Mexican dark
chocolate,
chocolate, sea salt, and Mexican coffee.
Okay, that's actually the second best one, though. Macadamia nut is number 3. That thing is the
amazing.
best. Yeah.
Oh my god, this beer is really
It's
fucking
like
good.
the very good version of the Stone Oaxacan. Not Oaxacan. What's the
Choco Mesa.
Thank you.
Which is still a good beer.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about it.
Dude, this is, oh my fuck. Dude, yeah, you are right. Vietnamese coffee and this one are like 1 and 2 or 1A, 1B. This isn't
they're
so
both
fucking
so
good.
fire, but dude, yeah, that thing is
Like,
so good.
I think I'd be doing a disservice not saying what it's about. For this special edition of our signature Imperial Stout, we're inspired to feature ingredients from our neighbors to the south. Use the comforting trio of Mexican dark chocolate, sea salt, and Mexican coffee to give the beer delectable notes of cacao and dark fruit, a subtle touch of cinnamon, and a kiss of roasty earthiness. Yeah, this beer is so fucking good. And since it pairs well with buñuelos, I think I've had that dish before, but I don't recall.
Buñuelos?
Yeah.
Why does that sound familiar, but I can't place it?
What's funny is one of my coworkers works at AleSmith as well, and she got my boss a can of this. I think he told me he was afraid to drink it. He's just like, he thinks like anything that's like added to like a regular style, I think it's kind of niche. I know he would like it.
Yeah, buñuelos are like kind of they're like a fritter kind of a thing. They're like
a Mexican fritter.
Yeah, exactly. You know the tall ones?
I think so.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. What's the ABV in that bad boy, Chris? Ask
ABV,
Mark
if I were to
Fellows.
guess.
Also, I'm taking a
guess.
shot of vodka like a goddamn delinquent. So cheers.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm way off. Guess what I was thinking this ABV was? Like 10? It is 12. 12%.
That's a big one. That's a big one here.
Yeah. Oh my god, that beer is so fucking good. I gotta be careful. Anyways, let me go ahead and get this thing rolling here. I'm going to quickly discuss, first of all, for anyone listening that watched the boxing match last night between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
First off,
Jesus fucking
best
Christ.
fight of the weekend, right? Not even close.
I mean, just,
not even close.
I know, like, Usyk versus Joshua was an amazing heavyweight fight from a technical standpoint. Right. This is just an amazing fight from a, oh my fucking god, any one of these dudes can just, like, be done. It was like a Rocky movie.
Girlfriend Karen and I made a drinking game out of it. I literally told her, I was like, pick who.
The worst one?
I told her, pick who you want. I'll let you choose whoever you want. But I'm telling you right now, like Fury obviously is the person you should pick. She's like, nope, I'm gonna go with skinny white dude.
So if you asked me what's ingrained in your brain from the fight is the phrase from I can't remember his first name, the referee's last name, Mora, referee Mora. Mm-hmm. I said stop.
Oh yeah.
Constantly. And this is a testament to his refereeing skill. He pressed the action.
Dude,
he knew
let
when
him
to
play
stop
in the clinch.
work.
Yeah, it was perfect.
This referee, Mr. Mora, I'm sorry I don't remember your first name. fucking hats off to you. Holy
Well,
fuck!
I'm not
What a great.
I'm not very versed in boxing like you or a lot of people are. Like you're way more. You've been watching boxing for much longer than I have, and of course, like our listeners, like Kyle and people have been listening even longer than that. But like from boxing, a lot of times you rarely see people like you don't see a lot people work that much in the clinch and refs let it go that long
No.
generally from what I've seen and I thought it was
You're absolutely right.
I thought it was like absolute. I was surprised. Let me put it this way: I was surprised to see it in a match with a dude as high a name as Wilder. Like, it's weird. I feel like depending on where that fight took place, that fight might have gone way different because they wouldn't have let him work the way he did.
And I think that's a testament to referee Morris' job is what he's able to let the fighters do when they engage in a clinch, especially when you're Deontay Wilder's shoes. He weighed in at 238. As far as his walk around weight, I know the boxing weight cut isn't as strenuous as say a mixed martial artist or a wrestler's weight cut per se. I would imagine Wilder is probably in there about 245, 250.
Yeah,
he's a very big
neither
man.
one of them is cutting much, if anything. They're mostly just like tightening up their diet on the lead up.
Fury, if I recall, in the second fight weighed in about 245, 250.
Yeah,
This time he weighed in about like 280. He was a big boy. He's about 277 is what his initial weigh-in was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had about 40 pounds almost on Wilder, which is why in this fight. Let me go ahead and so I'll give you my quick thoughts, I guess, first. And then,
what we should do first before you get into your thoughts, we should shout out a show that you were listening to because you were listening to a couple cool shows about this fight,
yeah,
right?
So the first show I will plug is the show called the Boxing Voice, spelled THA, The Boxing Voice. I listened to it was a 4-hour recap. As far as production goes, there's a lot of like music plugged into it to kind of just act as a break before they get another call on the line, which is fine. It's almost kind of like a radio show format.
Right. It's kind of like a live stream kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a Twitch stream almost.
Cool there's like a live chat involved too, like in YouTube.
So very much like a chat, like a Twitch or a YouTube kind of stream.
They essentially had callers in to discuss what do they think about the fight. What do you think of Deontay Wilder's legacy? Tyson Fury. Majority of the callers that called in said Tyson Fury is the greatest heavyweight of just the past. They were saying 15 years. Like they're very high on him. They think the main detriment or the thing to commend him on is not just not only his fight IQ and knowledge and technical ability, but for someone of his size to be able to move the way he does and kind of dart in and dart out, and like his footwork and ability to say he gets in a clinch, right, and then backs off and then slips a 1-2 or then clinches again and sneaks in an uppercut like he did many times against Wilder. They really commended his ability to do that, and especially in this third fight. And Fury said it himself, I am going to try to knock him out. And he really put more power into his punches. And so he starts off with finesse and technical ability first. And he is probably just the best heavyweight boxer at sensing when someone is hurt or like they can lead him up to that I'm going to finish you now kind of stage. It was an absolute just like marvel to just kind of see how he strings together combos. And shouts out to his corner, Sugar Hill. What's his name? God damn it, Sugar Hill. What's his real name?
Here, I can try and look it up while you keep talking.
Yeah, shouts out to his corner and his coach. Just in between rounds, I remember.
Sugar Hill Seward.
There was a total of, thank you. So there's a total of 5 knockdowns in this fight, right? The first knockdown.
Detroit police officer.
Yep. Tyson Fury. Oops. Tyson
Fury.
Oh
wait, he trained. What color did he train? Oh, it's a white dude. Oh, weird.
Interesting.
Oh, weird. Sugar Hill Sword. White dude. Train white dude. Okay.
Anyways, he dropped Wilder in the third round.
Fucking around.
Wilder then dropped Fury twice.
Yeah. That fight was fucking
I thought
wild.
the fight was going to end right there.
Dude, there was a couple times where I wasn't sure how they were going to call it. I kind of, with big boxing matches, I always kind of lean like they'll let this shit go if they can, because that tends to be how it feels, especially in Vegas, right? Like, I feel like very rarely are you in Vegas and you're like, oh, they called that too early in a boxing match. Like, you don't see that for big money fights that often.
And another thing too, so here's the thing. I think it was after the 10th round where he knocked down Wilder. I think it was for the third time.
That was a bad round.
It's the one where Wilder just throws as hard as he can, a right hook.
And eats a
Fury
shot,
absolutely ducks it, and then comes back with his own hook to the fucking just side of the ear and just absolutely drops him.
It was like a fucking EA fight night shit. Yeah. It was like some old school fucking.
And I'll get into this in about a minute. Sugar Hill 3, you can see him screaming, "All right, Tyson, round 11. Start with the jab. You can hear him say, jab the fuck out of this motherfucker." You know what I mean? Then finish out, follow it, you smell blood, and you finish the fight, which is, spoiler, he finished him in the 11th round. We'll get to that. Most of the callers that were on the Boxing Voice, lots of great points. They said, Tyson Fury has been boxing since the age of 7, right?
He's also huge and moves very well.
Yeah, I think also Alexander Usyk has been boxing since age like 8 or 9,
yeah,
right?
Also moves very well.
All of them known their whole life, right? Then you get dudes that are prodigies, athletic freaks like Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. They've been boxing since they're about 17, 18.
Footwork. Footwork is everything in boxing, right?
Deontay Wilder, and I'll say, and I like Deontay Wilder a lot. There were times in this fight, dude, like his jab was great. I love Wilder's jab. The way he'd kind of step in and jab to the body was good, especially just right up the start of the fight. The thing that would frustrate me is when he couldn't even throw a right straight. He tried to throw a haymaker. Dude, it looked straight like a fucking street fight. It was very frustrating to watch. It's just sloppy. It's bad. It's telegraphed. And he's not dancing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if for someone, and I'm not discounting him, he's defended his belt 10 times at one point, you know, and you can... If you have that kind of fuck you power in your hand or hand of God, whatever you want, sort of metaphor you want to say for someone that could end someone in one punch, that's great. Great on Wilder. He's a great champion. Yeah. But I can only just fucking imagine if he had just trained earlier and had like just more technical skill set, dude. He'd be just like...
I mean, that's part of it, but also like most of his game has always been around the fact that he survived
setting
off
up
his
the
power. Like...
Yeah. There's even a part of
that's
the fight
how
where
he was an Olympian.
Like I think it was like in the 5th round.
That's how Wilder.
In the 6th
that's how
round.
Wilder won a medal is with his right hand. Like it's all he's ever had, but he's just been able to land it. And people are starting to scout him, and that's gonna be bad news for him, just like it's been bad news for Joshua. Where when you scout some of these dudes who very clearly have one method to win. When you start to come up against guys like Usyk or guys like, a lot of boxers, like you just all of a sudden, if you have one method to win, if that one method starts to get shut down, you're fucked. And that boxing is like one of the clearest examples of that.
I should remember his name. And I need to look at the boxing rings for everybody. His name's Michael something. It's not like Michael Hunter or Michael Kemba. There's another heavy boxer that someone was on a phone call saying he has really good footwork and he's quick, like an Usyk.
Right.
But the big prospect who I follow on social media named Jared Big Baby Anderson, he fought in the undercard, won via great knockout, defeated his opponent. He's just like... I don't know if he's under the same camp as Wilder. I don't think he is. I think he's associated with him. But Jared Big Baby Anderson is going to be a name to follow in the next couple, like 2 or 3 years. Like I'd say even just a year or two. We'll see just based on how this heavyweight title picture, kind of unfolds, right? Someone on the phone said, "Yeah, Fury's way too large. I don't think anyone beats him.
Yep.
He's too big. He's too tall. He's too skilled for someone that big and too tall, right?" 40-pound advantage just about against anyone that fights him. I didn't necessarily think this analogy is accurate. They said, even though technically it's true based on a weight discrepancy, they said, imagine getting someone like Tank Davis, Gervonta Davis, who weighs in at about 130, 135 pounds, fighting Canelo, who weighs in at 170, 175 pounds. It's not really a good technical
it's not 1-to-1
analogy.
But yeah. Also,
I get what you're trying to say.
I should shout out John.
Which?
Go ahead.
I would say I would love that fight because I would love to see Canelo murder that dude for what he's done outside of the ring. But,
Yeah, I was gonna say I should shout out Jay Ho-Ho's on Twitter. I believe that's how you pronounce that, but he is ABCDE in chat, and no wonder that commenter has been dope. Because that dude is the man. But yeah, it's been a fucking dude. It's weird. It's a weird time in combat sports. I feel like in a lot of ways, like as much as there have been very, very good single fights, there have been such trash events. Did you watch much of that boxing card outside of that main event?
Not really, because I was getting off of work, and right when I got home is when I think Jared Anderson won his fight, because I saw him go live on Instagram in his hotel room, and he was kind of recapping his fight. I saw the highlight of that. Great win for him. The one, it wasn't necessarily an upset, but the one guy who's a prospect, and he was pretty hyped on the card, is this guy from Nigeria named F.A. Ajagba. Really good knockout power. He had a really scary knockout like early this year. It was all over Sports Center. He lost to a very good Cuban fighter named Frank Sanchez, who's very technical and beat him unanimously. I think it was like a 15-round fight. One of the rare like 50. Yeah, one of those like remember old school kind of. It was a very long, strenuous fight. Anyways, I'll just finish up with just this podcast saying that the main consensus had to do with sportsmanship. Yes, did both fighters kind of say cross the line with some of the shit? They said they talked about each other's wives, that kind of thing, right? Sure.
Yeah, it always makes everything better.
They basically said in boxing it's a gentleman's sport. They said you fight, you hug, you shake hands, and it's over. There should be zero authentic drama, no matter the shit talk. That was their opinion. They kind of, and most people were clowning on Wilder because at the end of the fight, Fury said, he wanted to shake hands. He said, "Congratulations, great fight." And, this is hearsay, right? Wilder said, "I don't respect you." No, and just walked away. So take it as you will. I'm not going to call Wilder a clown for that. Does he make it look like he's classist, I guess? I don't know, but I don't know what the fuck he's thinking. He just got knocked out. And he got knocked out cold.
You can't
knockout.
ever hold, things against fighters immediately after they get concussed.
Yeah. It wasn't just
a bad way to go.
That was a fucking KO.
And just in general, it's a bad way to go about life. Like, you're not going to find a great... No one's ever going to be... Let's put it this way. If someone is very gracious in defeat, that is a rarity and should be taken as a rarity. Because it's inherently tough to do. And, you shouldn't... It's unfair to, hold people to that standard that, everyone's going to be perfect all the time, I don't know. It also doesn't do you any service any more than it does the fighters a disservice. It kind of is just a push. You're telling me they were fucking shitty or pissed off after they just got fucked up? Great take. I don't feel like that does anything for anybody, right? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just
I'll end on I listened to it. I didn't get to listen to it all, but Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson did a live commentary.
Actually, before you get to that, let me run through some of my honorable mentions because I want to tease that a little bit because I think it's the thing I'm the most interested in. But I want to get through all the honorable mentions of dope podcasts that came out. But I'm so fascinated that so just before we get to that, Chris, was it on Twitch that you listened to DJ talk about the Tyson Fury fight?
It was on his YouTube channel.
Really? Wait.
But I think it was pulled from his Twitch.
Okay. Oh, right. It's like a VOD from his Twitch channel?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know they do that.
You could tell it was his Twitch setup with the streaming, and you see the people talking.
Yeah, it was clearly he did it live, and then people posted it later.
Uploaded it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm fucking fascinated about that, and I very much want to talk about it. But before we get to that, I do want to shout out a bunch of shows. Again, This is just shit. This is in no particular order. This is just everything I liked over the last 2 weeks that I think everybody should listen to. So I'm just literally going to rattle them off and put links in the description. Soundofviolence.com or SOVpod.com. If you go there, we have links for everything you're looking for. But I just want to give shout outs to the actual dope content that did come out that are not like our number one priorities of like things that we think you have to listen to be a decent human being in the sport. Is that what our show is now? Maybe. All right. Severe. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with it. Severe MMA episode 330 was very good. It's the 266 recap for week reference. Because again, this has been over the last couple weeks. Co-main event episode 470 was very good. Talking about UFC 266. Same with Jack Slack podcast episode 55. Verbal Tap, episode 476, talk about John Jones getting arrested again. If you guys know anything about the Verbal Tap podcast, you know that's a good episode. Heavy Hands, episode 388. Ryan Wagner guested, and it was fucking awesome. They talk Volk versus Ortega. They talk the Hail Mary subs, Joshua versus Usyk. And yeah, you should absolutely check it out, as well as Heavy Hands on their Patreon bonus episode for September 19th, 2021 was super good. The Fights at MMA podcast, episode 66. I'm blind as fuck. I actually fixed that problem this week, though. You guys, I'm going to have new glasses again soon. So I can actually fucking see. And that way I'll just slur instead of not being able to see and slurring. The Fights MMA podcast, episode 66, was really good. Well, I'm talking about Volk versus Ortega. Cellular Sith, the return of the MMA nerd. You thought she was gone forever, but she was back for an episode. Cellular Sith episode. Man, I can hear myself slurring S's, and I'm gonna go ahead and blame that on my girlfriend. That's a joke only a couple people get. So Sith episode 8 was very good. I miss Ashley doing MMA content, and it's been dope to hear her do it. She also did if you guys are at all interested in the Far Cry series, Ashley on her Cellular Sith podcast, I believe episode 9 was the one where she went on and talked about the Far Cry series and how hyped she is for the 6th one in Cuba. Which
hey, I've been playing it. It's
is
rad.
it, dude?
Yeah. I'll say this real quick.
Your roommate.
If you have a friend
your
to play
roommate
with
who's
it,
been
it's 10 times better.
Your roommate who's been in Cuba, how does he feel about it?
He hasn't even seen me play yet,
dude.
Because he was out of town for about like.
We
5
gotta get
days.
it. We gotta get his take. Because I'm curious.
I'll say this. I played the Far Cry 5. Played with a friend, with the one in Montana. Yeah. Far Cry in general, it's like 3 was amazing.
It's been
like,
the
when
same
you play
thing
solo,
since
4 was
3.
fun.
Yeah.
It is, but the game is that much better if you play with a friend. It is just it's so fun.
Well, that's what people have been saying for a couple now.
And without really minor spoil, you can get in a fucking tank in a new one, and it's so fun.
Yeah.
Goddamn tank. It's
well,
great. And you have a fucking pet alligator, dude, that takes people out, and he wears a t-shirt. His name is Wapo.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
And he like runs like this on the ground. It's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious.
Okay, if his name is Wapo, that's even tighter. I kind of fuck with
I'll say this. So my only complaint, I'm not even trying to just interrupt what Ashley the MMA nerd was going to do. I'm playing on PS5. It runs at a steady, not native 4K, right?
But
it does run 60 frames.
Run native 4K.
No, fuck no. It's on an old engine. However, the nice part is it does run at a solid 60 frames, very steady when you're doing the gameplay. But the cutscenes are like a choppy 30. It's kind of jarring.
Yeah.
I don't know why they fucked it up. But when you're playing the game, it's great. Runs at 60 frames. That's what Far Cry should be.
I'm guessing it's one of those things where like they'll eventually push an update that'll probably fix the cap.
Yeah, they will.
That. It's just like probably what they're doing is they're trying to make sure the OG version doesn't get fucked up with updates, and then they can push an only 4K version like graphics patch basically. Is what I would expect.
I'm loving
it. But
yeah. Sorry, I heard Far Cry
no,
6.
dude. I've been so you're kind of convincing me that I need to pick that shit up because I've been wanting to play that game, and the more I've been seeing about it, I'm like, dude, I love me some Cuba shit, and
yeah, There's some cool characters too.
I know there is, because it's Cuba, bro.
Yeah, it's Cuba.
Exactly. I know there's some dope cigar makers.
And if you've watched Breaking Bad, the main villain is basically Gus Fring.
Boy,
Like, it's great.
I know there's some good cigar makers. They're gonna get a hell of play in that motherfucker, and or rum makers, one of the two. And
I'll say this: if you remember playing Far Cry 3, you know when you get injured and you don't have like health syringes, it shows you like unbreaking your wrist or like your fingers. There's one where you get a Cuban cigar, you smoke it, and you just burn it on yourself, and then like you snap your hand back into place. That's hilarious.
Beautiful. Oh, you see me my kind of medicine.
Yeah.
Chris, if I was a doctor, I'm pretty sure that's how medicine work. I would just burn a cigar into you. Call it good. I'm pretty sure I have scars to prove that, actually. Here, how's that Wait, does that show up on camera? My fucking dollar bill scar.
Here's some cigarette burns.
I was gonna say
here.
my lighter. Does my lighter scar show up on camera? Not really.
Oh, and this one was just me being drunk, and then someone's like, "Can you handle pain?"
Dude.
And I was like, "Do it." And I was like, not reacting. I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "A lot."
Well, no, you remember? Oh, you weren't there actually. Yeah, no. Trevor did figured out the thing where you can't light a cigarette through a dollar bill. Like dollar bills get too hot, so like it doesn't.
Like you light a dollar bill on fire.
No, like
and it doesn't.
No, like you can't transfer enough heat through a dollar bill to do anything, because it just absorbs it. So like
there's too much cotton.
Yeah. So like I have a couple real good scars from when we were kids, fucked up, being like, bro, I would go. Or no, you know what it was? You can't put out a cigarette on a dollar bill. Is what it was. So I had Trevor. Trevor slapped a dollar bill in my arm, tried to put a cigarette on it. I was like, I'll sit here and wait. And I got the scar to show that. I'm too white on this camera. Yeah.
Wait, shouldn't that mean you should be able to see it then?
No, because it's pink, and also I'm pretty brown. It's just that I have a backlight because of the way I'm lit. But anyway, I'll tweet it out if you want a picture of it. But anyway, yeah, it's fucking. It's regular skateboarding shit. I feel like anybody who's skateboarded fucking is.
Like, yeah, bro, I was on the show.
That's why I was always that. That's why I was always that motherfucker who talks shit like, oh, you got a tattoo? Oh, that's cool. I got scars like an adult. I don't know, maybe just growing up skating. When
someone goes, do you get a tattoo on your scar, Brett?
Yeah, you can't do that because scar tissue doesn't really tattoo; it'll just tear. Pro tip. All right, Chris. What did we have anything else? What were we talking about before this?
You were doing some.
No, I feel like you had something to say.
It was just the Mighty Mouse shit.
Oh, right. Did we talk about that yet?
Not yet.
Well, then what the fuck?
Because you were plugging some stuff.
Well, beautiful. Chris, what Mighty Mouse stuff do you have to plug?
So he did a live commentary. I listened to that when you were doing some prep stuff.
Specifically,
we started
what outlet?
On Tyson Fury
what outlet?
Versus... it looked like Twitch, based on just his user
interface. Right.
This
Okay, right. We started talking about this. Yeah, no, this is on his actual Twitch stream channel, and then they re-uploaded.
To
yeah,
YouTube.
Exactly.
So his main takeaway from Fury vs. Wilder, he very much enjoyed the fight, like most just combat sports and boxing fans would. He talked about Tyson Fury. He said, just in his opinion, when it comes to just boxing, it comes down to good footwork and controlling the distance, as far as if you want to stay ahead in the rounds, if you have that good jab. He said Fury's in and out footwork was part of success, and his ability to avoid the jab or kind of almost just parry Deontay's like body jab by kind of rolling away with his body like this. When Wilder would, he would dart in with that really quick kind of like jab to the body, and Fury would kind of just, I guess, shell up a little bit and kind of just roll with the hips to kind of deflect it.
Right. Well, nothing was landing cleanly. It was kind of the whole thing, right?
Yeah. But he's just basically into three things: your footwork, your jab, and your distance. And then he said the main thing that really just gave his advantage was just laying on Wilder again when he had him against the ropes. Just that massive weight advantage, tiring him out physically. Just if you weigh so much more than your opponent and you're laying your entire torso on them, it's just like he's wearing a 45-pound costume. Sorry, I had to go there.
Right. Essentially.
Really? I mean, yeah, that's why Deontay, he obviously had so much heart and fought his heart out. The dude was badass. And he kind of looked tired after round 4-ish, right? He was kind of just getting leaned on constantly. So that's those the three main things he had were just good footwork, controlling the distance, having a good jab. That's what won for the fight. Also being the heavier man, the more technically skilled fighter. Yeah. He didn't take anything away from Deontay Wilder, nor will I. Outstanding performance by him as well.
Well, I mean,
for being someone who's not as technically skilled as his opponent, he looked great. He dropped him twice. Dude. Could have very much ended the fight.
Yeah, that shit was very close.
As far as almost ending the fight, my last takeaway is Tyson Fury. If he had more time in the third round, that would have been a third round TKO.
Dude, if he had any more time.
Wilder was out on his feet. He was really badly hurt.
I've seen some of the laziest complaints on Twitter. You've seen DC's trash complaints of
No, but I'm looking up now so I can just kind of laugh at it.
I think DC was why did the ref... If I remember right, I think DC complained that the ref stopped the count to separate Wilder, which is literally the rule for boxing.
Dude, Ref Mora did a great job.
No, if I remember right, I think DC had maybe the worst take of them all. But all in all, it was a long count. I will say that for a couple of those, but it was still a banger of a fight. And
is this it? I agree with Andre Ward. The count was crazy slow. He isn't supposed to stop counting to tell Deontay to go to his corner.
Yeah. What does that mean? You're not supposed to stop counting to tell the fucking fighter to go to their corner?
That means he's done counting. Counting. He's
either one of two things. Either there's no more count, or Deontay needs to go to his corner.
Yeah. Someone said this. Sorry, not true, Daniel.
Trent Reinsmith, I think, right?
Yeah. The moment 3 limbs of one fighter touches the canvas, the ref indicates a standing count. The ref ensures the other fighter is in a neutral corner, then picks up the count from the actual timekeeper who's outside the fucking ring.
I don't even follow boxing, but I know that shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's been honestly boxing has been cooler than MMA the last couple weeks, event wise, and it's a problem. And MMA needs to figure the fuck out. So, Chris, here's what I'm thinking. Before we wrap this motherfucker, I don't give a fuck about next week's card. You want to pull that up?
I mean, I don't give a fuck.
No. Pull it up. Right? Pull it up. Let's hear how bad it is, and then let's justify why we're not doing a show next week. Because we should have done this the last time. Because, dude, I got excited after UFC 266. I don't know if you saw our Twitter. I got so excited because it was such a good card. And then I looked at the next week's card, and I was like, I don't care.
Okay, I'll just go from top to bottom.
Let's go top to bottom. Let's just go main card, and let's see how many fights anyone cares about.
You have I presume this is a women's featherweight bout? Bantamweight bout?
I mean, Holly Holm dropped out, so whatever it is.
So bantamweight bout, I think.
Allegedly.
I don't know.
If Aspen Ladd can make a goddamn weigh-in, which she's 0 for what? She's 1 for 4 on right now?
I don't know. Either way, you got Norma Dumont versus Aspen Ladd in the fantastic main event of the evening. Yeah. Then you're going to comment, you got
at 145,
who
right?
should have retired 5 years ago.
That was 145, right?
Yeah, against Carlos Felipe.
Wait.
Miller, also a guy who should have retired.
It's fucking Andre Arlovsky versus Carlos Felipe co-main.
Yeah. He should have retired 5 years ago. Then you got in the co-main, Jim Miller should have retired 5 years ago, fighting Eric Gonzalez. Then you got a French fighter named Manon Fiorot going up against Mayra Bueno Silva. Then you got Julian Marquez versus Jordan Wright, Andrew Sanchez, Bruno Silva. Oh my God, this is
the greatest promotion in the world, ladies
Danny
and gentlemen.
Roberts versus Ramazan Mev, Sajara Eubanks. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh
Speaking
boy.
Of people who won't make weight.
Ludovic Klein versus Nate Landwehr. Brandon
Nate
Davis.
Landwehr is the
Dana
first name I've heard in a
Botterill,
long time that I care about.
And then Ariane Carnelossi versus this. Goddamn, fuck this fucking card, dude. This is so fucking.
That's
great.
why we're off next week, Chris. Go ahead and
Yeah.
take a look at the card after that. Actually,
Should I?
look at every single card after that, not counting contender. So there's a Bellator, right?
Bellator, even the main event looks bad.
What is that? The name Nemkov?
Nemkov versus some guy named Julius Anglikas.
Okay, there's like 2 or 3 good fights on that card, though.
Cage Warriors.
No, wait.
okay,
Go back to that Bellator card because there's like 2 or 3 good fights. It's Brent Primus versus Benson Henderson, maybe.
Oh, and you got Ryan Bader versus Corey Anderson. That's
yeah,
all right.
those are okay top 3 fights. Anything
Yeah,
else?
Benson Henderson versus Brent Primus.
Anything else?
That's all right. Nope.
Okay. Anything? Keep
my
going.
opinion,
Keep going.
All right, let's see here. Okay, hold on.
Yep. Nope.
Cage Warriors, no.
I mean, Cage
Contender
Warriors
Series.
have Cage Warriors cards, which are fun. Like, I don't, no shame on Cage Warriors because like they're
So the
just
main event is
putting
JJ
on
Ambrose
events.
versus Kyle Driscoll from AK.
Yeah, well, and like Cage Warriors are putting on events. Like, no shame, dude. Also,
I mean, I won't hate on
to
them,
be fair,
so.
if it wasn't a goddamn pandemic, I would be going to these shows because a lot of them are in San Diego nowadays. You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, they're
CFFC.
they're Humphreys at the Bay, also, which is like an open air. Like, I kind of want to go,
Yep.
but
On the water, dude.
no, I know it's a dope venue, and I kind of want to go, but like also,
Then there's LFA. Okay. KSW. Oh my god, these guys.
okay,
definitely
so
look all natural.
the KSW card is the first thing I'm excited about. Is Mateus Gamrot
Dude,
versus
This
fucking
looks like the
Bombardier.
all natty card
Dog.
of all natty cards of all natty.
Well, first off, it doesn't matter outside of the main event, which is Gamrot versus Bombardier, right?
Yeah, Mariusz
Oh, it's
Pudzianowski
Puds.
versus.
Sorry, it's Puds versus Bombardier. Well, the one am I saying?
Yeah. Versus
Gamrot.
Bombardier.
Bombardier. Yeah, yeah.
Bombardier.
Yeah, no, he's French. You're right.
Yeah. Serine Osmania Dia
No.
is his name. It looks like he's from Ghana,
Yeah,
or I guess, or Cameroon.
100% from. I believe it was Ghana. Yeah, no, that's a banger.
I'm decent with my world flags.
Nah, that's a banger, and that's also remember,
Actually, dude, just looking at these guys' builds, I want to watch
dude.
this fight.
You should watch this entire card. How many KS?
It just looks like Mirko if he's a little bit bigger versus like Prime Bob.
You
Sapp
probably
and
haven't
just
seen a
throwing
lot of KSW cards, have you?
I seem like maybe two.
Okay, you should watch this card because, like, this is the kind of card that they'll drive a tank into the arena for. You know what I mean? Like,
And does Putin
no,
show up and
this
he
is,
starts
dude,
shooting
way-
gay people because he's a great person?
way more elaborate. To be honest, it's way more elaborate.
Sorry,
And
that
it's
was a little
only
extreme,
only
but-
Poland racist. It's not Russian racist.
Yeah, this is the Polish, very, very Catholic Polish.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you know what's funny though? I think the Polish government doesn't like abortion, so at least they're learning. But other than that,
Polish government is
at least they're learning compared to the Texas government. I mean, Texas Republic. I mean, ass backwards state in the United States. Which state is that again? Okay, never mind.
yeah. Unfortunately, if you learn any more about Poland, you'll be like, oh no, that's way worse. But
Like Poland still sucks, but they have a little bit more of a brain in Texas. Anyways, I'm not trying to compare Poland to Texas. Anyways, let's move on. And you got a UFC card in Costa versus Vittori, and after that, that's it. That's the card. That's it. Just the one fight. Tune in, have fun.
yeah,
That's
so
it. It's two
there's a
orcs. One of them drinks
yeah,
wine.
there's a heck of a thing happening. I think is our entire bit. Did I run through my honorable mentions yet?
Yeah, I think you did, because then
I
you
did,
asked
right?
where are we right now, and I was like, it's time to talk boxing. You're like, what are we doing?
Beautiful. I just want to make sure. Well, on that note,
That's all I got, dude. This is I'll say this. I can't wait
Let's-
till
well,
October
no,
30th,
also-
and then November 6th.
yeah, two things we should state, which is we should state the conversation we've been having behind the scenes, which is
Yeah.
I am very much starting to get to the what I would refer to as the Alexi Old situation on the sport, which is, you know what? Actually, do I have the clip still? I don't know that I have the clip ready in front of me. Essentially, the clip that Alexi Old said, it was a motto in his house when he was growing up, which is something along the lines of, what is it doing for me? Like, what am I gaining from this? And I'm butchering the actual quote because I can't remember the exact phrasing off the top of my head, but like, what is the UFC and the sport giving anyone at this point? Because we're starting to get to a real crossroads where, like, it's more detrimental to be involved than it is to watch cards. And that's a bad place for the sport to be at. And, like, I feel like week after week, like, not every week does it go the same direction. But I'm saying, like, if you were to do it in quarters of a year, I feel like this sport is heading not in a great direction.
I honestly feel like it's dying.
Well, it honestly, like, Chris, you're kind of my canary in the coal mine, right? Because, like, you are very much a dude who, like, is a sports fan more than you are an MMA fan, right?
Okay, I'm very much an MMA fan in the sense that it's like I love it.
But
from
you
the
love
combat
sports just as much as you love MMA, right?
That's very true.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, if something is on, if something that's sports and it's entertaining to me, and it's a high, whether it's a high level of athleticism or sort of technical skill or anything where it's two competitors giving their all, I am intrigued. It could be fucking tennis,
Yeah.
right?
You're like, you're one of those dudes who
just... to answer your question, dude, I fucking watch golf. I don't watch all the golf tournaments. I watch the majors. Yeah. I'll watch, like, I will gladly watch.
No, I've seen Masters, you and your dad go hard on some golf before. Yeah.
Yeah, me and my dad are like, it's just an excuse for us to smoke cigars and drink whiskey, and then get fucked out. Right? Yeah, Phil Mickelson or some shit.
Right. Whatever white dude's winning right now.
Right. Well, for my dad, right? I'll be like this. Hey, go call. Go call Nakamura, right? The really cool Japanese
the guy's
my dad's like, which guy is that again? I'm kidding, Dad. But
no, to be fair, your dad's fucking hilarious too.
No, my dad's great. But
yeah, but that's kind of my point, though. Is like, because you're kind of my canary in the coal mine in that sense that, like, you are very much a sports fan as much as you are an MMA fan, right? And, like, you also are friends with a lot of dudes who are sports fans, not MMA fans. Whereas, like, people who talk to me, they don't talk to me about sports. They talk to me about MMA, or they talk to me about not MMA. I have no in between. So, like, you're kind of the canary in the coal mine for this show. And, dude, it feels like no one gives a fuck about MMA unless it's either, number one, someone got arrested, or number two, there was one card that mattered, right?
Agreed.
And
man,
over under on that card being a McGregor card is like 80
or a Diaz card.
20.
Or a Diaz card.
Like, nobody gives a fuck, right? Like, this sport is very much...
You're absolutely right, because then you get sports fans, and remember I told you?
Yeah.
I've been in bars where it's like, bro...
Well, San Diego too. Like, bro, we're a military city.
Me,
like, we get even the fucking sportsy military dudes are not into MMA right now.
And they're like this, bro. They tell me you don't understand. Thank you for telling me I don't understand. Nate Diaz walks around at 215.
We've heard. Shouts to Danny Down. He was there actually when that happened.
Yeah, and I was just like this, and I remember I said this, and I'm like. I'm like, you're absolutely wrong. I said to him, he's like, what? I'm like, you are absolutely wrong. That is not true at all. Yeah. I'm like, Nate Diaz at the most cuts about 30 pounds. He's probably maybe 185 tops. I'm like,
this is also like fucking before the second
this is like,
Diaz Conor
This is like
fight.
8 years ago.
This was after Diaz Conor won.
Yeah, this is whatever the fuck that
It was
like, 6 years ago.
it was the skip and Shannon Sharp era where they were like saying
he just
he's a
sumoed a
sumo
guy.
dude. The dude literally said that.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
He said it in front of Danny Downs, which is like the best part.
Oh, and I'll give you one example, and this is why I hate MMA. I don't hate the sport. I hate the fans. I sort of fucking
we all
I was
do,
at work.
right?
This was just.
Well,
3
also
days ago.
we should also clarify that Chris works in a very like the part of town that Chris works in is a very
conservative almost North County, Serena Valley part of town.
He means white. He means white people. That's what he is. He means
white folks. Anyways, can I tell you what a gentleman told me
affluent,
who claimed he was an
yeah,
MMA fan?
affluent white
Can I just tell you
people.
what he told me?
That's what he is. But yeah, go ahead.
Let me just tell you what he told me. So he's talking about blah blah MMA stuff, and he goes, oh, what do you think of whatever the card that Rose Namajunas Zhang Weili is on the
Great.
fight?
I can't. Oh, I'm already upset. I don't
even know
bro.
the tweet. But guess what do you think he's gonna say?
Communist.
He goes,
over under on the word communist showing up.
Surprisingly, he didn't say that. This is what he said. It's almost even worse. Yeah, Rose is fighting that Japanese fighter.
Oh!
Excuse me? I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, Zhang Weili? He's like, yeah, she's Japanese. I'm like, and I was just like this, no, she's not. She's Chinese. Bro, she's Japanese. She's super.
What?
I'm like, dude. I told this right now. I'm like, dude, I will bet you $1,000 in my, like, right now. Like, I will Venmo you $1,000. She's Chinese. I mean, she's very Chinese.
Look,
like, you were very wrong. And
entire...
he was just like this. Look, he was like this. Look. Okay, brah. Like, okay, yeah, I'm wrong. Good one, dumbass. Like, yeah, I had to deal with that. Yeah. Thanks, Dick. Yeah. That's your average MMA fan, to be fair.
Chris, this is why you and I do not have a show that is approachable.
Hey, you and I are not the average MMA fan.
This is also why I have trouble at breweries. Because I end up running into motherfuckers.
Oh, guess what other things I've gotten? This is a year ago. It's a hoax, bro. Whole thing's a
hoax.
I
heard at your brewery, not you, just some random dude in the area being like, can you believe all these fucking pussies wearing masks indoors just because they already got vaxxed? I just glared at him. By the way, dude was 65 and definitely gonna die if people weren't vaxxed. I just glared. I was like, oh my God.
You should realize, hey, sir.
Oh, actually,
everyone that goes to your funeral is also going to get Rona and die too. So good job contributing to your family.
Chris will go ahead and confirm that I did end up at a completely different side of the fucking area after I heard that. So.
Yeah, I saw you guys.
Yeah, that would be why. Because I was like, I'm gonna yell at this fucking old ass 90-year-old man for being a fucking white Nazi, unless, yeah. So. Point is,
you should be like, "Hey, my pussy ass grandpa died of Rona."
no. See, I'm way meaner. So I would just be like, "Well, Gramps, we're trying to save you, but if you don't care, let me open your mouth and I'll cough."
I could say something worse than that. Open your mouth and
well,
okay. Gramps.
I feel like anytime you open your mouth at an old white dude, something bad, they're gonna swing, right?
What?
That or they're gonna be like, "Please, Daddy." I don't know which one of the two. Yeah.
Please, man, here.
Exactly. On that note, I feel like, Chris, we've officially made it to the end of this episode. Probably, right?
I think so.
We should probably wrap this motherfucker. That being said, hey, we are a weird show, and we're not for everybody, but everybody who did stick around till the end, you're our favorites, and I feel like you know why.
I'll say this. Now is an amazing time to be a fan of boxing.
It is, dude. I'm very much
like super middleweight with anything with Canelo, him versus Caleb Plant. I will absolutely be tuning into the fight. I think it's in about like 3 or 4 weeks. I think, or probably sooner.
I'm honestly gonna, be going way more. I would recommend everybody go check out Kaposa's website. Here, let me find the actual URL for that, because what is Kaposa's website? I know it's Grabaka Hitman, but I don't know his actual URL. GrabakaHitman.com is the actual URL. He is the best at having absolutely every combat sports event that's happening. And I honestly want to start watching a lot more boxing. I have, for a very long time, been very bored with boxing. I don't know. MMA is dope. I like wrestling, so that's probably
There's more avenues.
well. And I just really like wrestling, so that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But that being said, fucking dude, boxing and Muay Thai and a bunch of other things have been putting out way better events. So like, why the fuck watch trash when there's decent things happening? So I'd recommend everybody go check out GrabakaHitman.com and keep an eye out for exactly what events are coming up throughout the week. Because there's a lot of cool like regional boxing cards and shit that are a lot more fun than like whatever trash the UFC is trying to force feed you throughout the week.
Also, what's it called? Off topic or well-rounded? I saw the new James Bond.
Oh,
on Friday morning.
yeah.
That's on matinee showing.
Also,
Fucking
we should
great.
also, Chris, I'm gonna in the description put a link to your letterbox. Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah, it's just the username is just Chris Medaffer, and it's all together, and it's just like capital M for my last name. That's it.
Yeah, Chris is gonna send me the link, so I have it. We will also link Kyle McLaughlin's letterbox as well, since he is one of the go-tos that I always pay attention to. And of course, you guys have seen Kyle pop in chat, and I honestly, I love me some Kyle. The more Kyle McLaughlin in everyone's lives, the better. So I'm gonna link both.
I real quick, I am gonna be doing a movie review for a horror film that I've been refusing to watch forever, and it's not Antichrist because I know it's a fucked up film too. It's not that.
Also,
one.
I like that I officially cursed the Johnny Walker fight by tweeting out the Chaos Reigns Antichrist GIF, and then because I heard fucking what's his face what's the dumbass who does the backflips when it's illegal.
Oh, Michelle Pajeda.
Michelle Pajeda was cornering evidently Johnny Walker for that fight. And so I just tweeted out the Chaos Reigns Fox GIF. And then, of course, I think I personally ruined that entire fight because I did that. I'm not going to lie.
I'm challenging myself because my coworker told me how this film will not make you sleep. And that Toni Collette should have won an Oscar for this film. I will be watching Hereditary.
Dude, I love Toni Collette. Toni Collette's one of my fucking favorites.
I am a giant pussy
dude.
when it comes to horror films. I've heard nothing but great things about this film, but I have also heard that this film will traumatize you. Like, it is a very disturbing film.
Dude,
and I feel like if I've seen Irreversible, I could watch this.
Toni Collette in the Noro.
Maybe you'll watch it as well too, so we can both.
Dude, I will definitely. Actually,
it's called Hereditary.
Because Toni Collette's the one, the redhead, right?
She's an Australian actress.
Redhead.
She's great. I think she's naturally blonde. I don't know, but she's been in a lot of stuff.
Am I thinking of the right?
The last
no, I'm thinking of a totally different person.
Was Knives Out.
I'm thinking of a totally different
great movie
person.
too.
Toni Collette is fucking great. I'm thinking of Toni from Treme.
Either way, I will be watching Hereditary.
I'm thinking of Antoinette Burnett.
Okay.
That's who I'm thinking of. No, wait. No, that's the... Oh, Melissa Leo is who I was thinking of.
She's a great actress.
Dude, to be fair, Toni Collette and her have similar vibe, but Toni Collette's dope as hell.
So, my point is, I will be watching Hereditary. I don't care if I'm a giant pussy when I'm watching it, and if I have to take a break, I'll watch it. After that, I will also be watching, I think comes out right before Halloween, Halloween Kills. I saw the first one that Danny McBride actually co-wrote, believe it or not, a comedic of mine.
Is this, what's the, can you give me is it a sequel? Is it a
sequel to the Halloween reboot that Danny McBride co-wrote?
Wait, Danny McBride co-wrote a Halloween sequel?
Halloween, yeah. You never saw it? It came out like 2018. It was rad.
Really?
Yeah, it was an official sequel to the
I just bailed after...
even Jamie Lee Curtis was back.
Okay.
It was actually really good.
Yeah, but like that's what
Okay.
people said about the
Not
Rob
really
Zombie
good,
one.
because there's parts where you just
That's
laugh.
what people said about the Rob Zombie shit.
Okay, I'll say this. It's honestly better than Rob Zombie one. 100%. I'm not even kidding.
Okay,
Not
but
even
like
fucking
that's
with
not a fuck.
Still not good. I know.
Wait, you're right. 'Cause Sherman Zombie was still stripping him like an interesting
Rob Zombie one
age.
sucks compared to the Danny McBride
Dude,
one.
Is it good
In my
though,
opinion.
Chris, or is it just acceptable? Okay, that was a long pause. That was a long pause.
It's acceptable.
sir.
It's acceptable.
Okay.
It's acceptable.
Okay.
It's acceptable, but it's better than it's definitely better than the Rob Zombie one.
That's fair.
David Gordon Green. I'll say this: David Gordon Green, who directed and wrote part of Pineapple Express, directed this. It's
great
comedy folks
sell.
that did horror.
Not a great sell.
It's not. It's not.
I think I'm gonna hate this fucking thing, but now I have to watch it.
You'll probably hate it. I'll say this. Can I tell you
Dude,
why I liked it?
I to be honest with you, the
Can I
entire
tell you why I
time
liked it? I'll say this.
yeah.
Spoiler, there's one scene where Michael Myers straight up curb stomps someone. You see his head explode.
What does that mean? Okay,
I just saw it and I started laughing so
now
hard.
I just
It's great.
Kyle McLaughlin, I know you're asleep, but if you do catch this later, I'm
It's stupid
gonna
as
need a
fuck.
review on this, just so I know how fucking wrong Chris is. I can't wait to see the review
Yeah,
of like
but-
Chris
but
being
I'll
like,
say-
"Hey,
but
that's
Danny
pretty good. I was
McBride
really
100%
high."
wrote the film though.
No, I can't wait for your review where you're like, "This is pretty good. That was pretty high," and Kyle McLaughlin's review of like, "I was sober and this was complete shit."
Fucking shite.
Where he's like, it was hilarious for the 2 seconds that it was hilarious." That being said, yeah, no, I don't fucking know. I have terrible. I'm a grumpy old man about everything. So what do I know? That being said, Chris, I am pretty excited about it. Honestly, I have been. Mark Fellow says, "I'm trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts." Name of the movie. You got anything?
Wait. Say it again.
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts. From
That sounds like Tropic Thunder.
from Danny McBride, I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah, his character Cody.
Sounds
that
about
movie's
right.
great.
I mean, it's you can get.
Yeah, the new Halloween movie based on John Carpenter character, of course, from original one, but mainly written by Danny McBride and David Gordon Green from Pineapple Express.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'll say this: my honest review, and I'll write a review of his Halloween. I'll say this: it's decent, but it's not great for a horror film. It's like it has like the slasher, like jump. You know, how it doesn't really have jump scares. It has more like imposing threat. It's fine. I'll say this: from what I've heard from an advanced screening of the new one, it's a lot better. It's like one of those things they learn from it and they just get better at it. And apparently it's supposed to be a trilogy. So then what does that mean? He survives again.
Yeah. See, for me, it's like always one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I always, with Halloween movies, like my favorite ones are just the ultra campy, over the top, insane shit.
Yeah.
Like, I've been watching a fuck ton of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I love that shit. Like, Lloyd Kaufman is my favorite horror director of all time. You know what I mean? Where it's just like complete
by the way,
chaos.
You know what movie I had on at work today? I did Evil 1 and Evil 1,
Dead?
the original Evil Dead 1 and 2 the other day. I put on Army of Darkness
1 and
and
2
everyone's like, this
are
movie's
so good, but they're so different for how they're the same movie.
well. And then you look at Army of Darkness, which is just vastly different than the first two.
It's weird in comparison.
It's a comedy. It's
100%.
It's funny.
But like,
Yeah, it's great.
Also, so was 1 and 2, kind of, but like,
Little bit.
it progressively gets way like 2 was.
My
a
point is,
comedy,
So I'm gonna watch Hereditary. I just have to do it because I have to just own up to
Right.
that and just watch it because I know it's a good film. I will definitely watch Halloween Kills when it comes out, and then the other film that I haven't watched yet, which I think I'm probably gonna not like, is Spiral, the Saw 9 film, which I haven't seen. With Chris Rock, he wrote it and produced it.
Weird! I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just Saw 9, but it's just called Spiral.
Huh?
But he wrote it and produced it. Or wrote part
I
of it.
don't trust Chris Rock to have any kind of writing ability.
I'll let you know how it is. It'll be on Letterboxd, and then I'll briefly mention it on here. And then we'll just see.
I just realized that the hash on this is still very aggressive, and that's working out pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, man. This is a fun episode, Chris. I like them.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, my favorite part of these episodes is when we stop talking about MMA, we start talking about bullshit, which is
like what makes us happy.
It's also 90% of the episodes we do it anyway. I guess lastly, I should shout out Skater XL, which I've been having a lot of fun with.
Right.
I don't know. I don't feel good about the developers yet, so don't buy the game unless you really want to. But I've been playing it, and I've been having a good time with it. So, I don't know. That's the thing. I need to go actually skating again. God damn it. I've just been too goddamn depressed because of the world. Well, on that note, Chris, I guess we should wrap this motherfucker. I love you, buddy. It's been fun doing this. We are definitely taking next week off because this next card is so bad, bro.
Dude,
we're not getting together for it. Like, if there's something we want to talk about, we will do that. But not for that.
But yeah, spoiler alert, Chris and I will be paying more close attention to the boxing scene. Not necessarily regional or anything like as in that level, but like definitely mainstream stuff for sure. We will always be doing
it. I think I'm
any big fight. We're doing
I
it.
think we're gonna start covering some more boxing, or at least big events, because I honestly they're way more entertaining than.
Hey, guess
most
what,
of the
guys?
shit that's
When it comes to
out.
most boxers, they don't tweet misty, anti-vax, or right-wing
That's
shit like
super
this.
not true at all.
But yeah, you're right.
As a matter of fact, that's the opposite of true. We just don't pay attention to it.
See, I was lying to myself right there, just hoping with that false hope, and then you just crashing back down to reality, Chris. God damn it.
Well, first off, we can talk about just managers alone are going to ruin that for you.
Oh, Bob Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. Dude,
shit.
anyone who opens their mouth on a fucking microphone.
This is the same Eddie Hearn, another piece of shit. Too.
Well, to be fair, all men who have been far more responsible during the pandemic than fucking Dana White.
Hey, so if I need some cocaine, I know who to call.
That as well. Hey, good news is we know people closer than Bob Aaron for Dana White. Allegedly.
Oh, allegedly.
Theoretically.
Of course. We don't. We will never partake in illicit drug use.
No, my drug dealer definitely is not vaxxed, and I definitely don't complain about it.
Oh, we might have to. Never mind. I guess that's
Oh, Chris, that's a perfect timing to where we both admit we're joking, and we're gonna sign off right here.
That's when if we had a producer that made this.
Yeah.
In
A lot of chopping and like the opposite of whatever stretch motion is. 100%. On that note, Chris, I love you, buddy. I miss you.
Love you
It's
too.
been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
We will be back next week, everybody. No, we won't. I
no,
just fucking
we're not.
straight lied to your face right now. How you feel about that?
We're not. You will definitely not see us next week because
You
fuck
won't.
this
You
card.
won't see a goddamn thing from. Actually, that's not true. I'll probably be loud as fuck on Twitter about something I'm mad about. But
It's fair.
we ain't gonna be around on video next week. The week after that, though, we
If we decide, I'm kidding.
I mean,
we'll see.
To be fair, we'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see what that card looks like. At that
Still pretty
point.
rough card.
Still rough, but my goal is to to be honest, as a lot of people who listen to podcasts probably know, fucking some of these weeks have been rough podcast wise as well. Like, there's not a fuck ton of great content coming out about a lot of these cards other than just like, here's what happened, here's what's gonna happen. And
Brought to you by MeUndies.
which, like, no shame. Like, I get it, but you don't need me for that, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Alright.
So, yeah. On that note, we will theoretically be back, not this week, but next week. And, Chris, until then, got anything?
Go see the new James Bond if you've seen. You don't need to see the other Craig films. But imagine if you like James Bond, you have. The only Daniel Craig film you don't necessarily need to see is the one called Spectre, which a lot of people hated. I think you should just see all of them anyway because it wraps everything up nicely. It's a fucking fantastic send-off, and I absolutely love the movie. Go see No Time to Die, please. Fun film. Really fun.
Also, Mark Fellows, just on the outro, going ahead and confirming Chris, you nailed it with the Tropic Thunder reference. Right on the outro, Mark Fellows dropping in for the win with the cheers and an outro. So I feel like that's the perfect way to wrap it, right?
So, hey, Mark Fellows, am I going to deal with TiVo? As Matthew McConaughey would say.
Indeed. Hey, and also, Mark Fellows is on he's got that good warm weather going over there, whereas we're headed into cold season. So,
cold for San Diego.
Wow, yeah, which is basically fucking Mark Fellows.
Oh my god, it's 65. Fuck.
Dude, to be fair, there was fucking almost monsoon ass weather down here like a week ago. It was pretty crazy. We had fucking lightning storms and shit. It's weird.
Dude, bring that back. That was tight.
It was weird though. And also it lit like fucking anyway. On that note, we're out of here, but we love you guys, and like we said, we'll be back not next week, probably week after. It's kind of our
probably 3 weeks, but yeah, we'll
yeah, something like that. And that week after that, we'll see how you do, and that's when we'll be back. MMA community, MMA podcast community, we'll be back when you want us to be, or when you deserve us to be. Chris, I got nothing else. I'm high as shit. I'm not gonna lie. You ready to get out of here?
All right. We out.
Good tech. Go do something decadent. Chris, one more thing. What was the other thing? Oh, first off, film cops. And second off, Chris, what was the one other thing that you need to say or / yell before we get out of here?
Don't be a racist. Enjoy some good beer.
That's right.
That's all I'll say.
AKA, fuck Nazis. We out.
Fuck Nazis.
That.
Liked by the sound of violence.